it certainly seemed in Game 7 that night.
He's always going to be a hero in New York, always, just because of that one hit.
Aaron Boone, with one titanic wallop, sends the Yankees to the World Series for the 39th time.
You do one memorable thing in New York, you're never forgotten, ever.
He just became officially a Yankee.
To have that, on your resume, to be hated in Boston, which is really is an honor in some ways, But I'm sure that wherever he goes nowadays, people bring up Aaron freaking Boone.
A play on a name, a place in Yankees history, a moment of glory.
I'm kind of a little overwhelmed by it, certainly humbled, but really appreciative. But now, as time's passed and I'm out of the game, to have a small place, a small moment in the history of probably the greatest sports franchise ever, and certainly one of the greatest sports rivalries ever, I think that's pretty cool at the end of the day.
Proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of the Yes Network.
Good morning, you, and you. For the you who wakes up with a pile. Away luggage brings you color and style. For the you who must navigate what life reveals. Away suitcases have 360-degree wheels. Our luggage and bags fit together and are built to last through whatever. Keeping things easy for all of the yous, so you can take in all of the views. Ready for everywhere. Away.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is brought to you by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
Morant has been under investigation by the NBA on a number of different incidences. His future as a face of this league is in peril.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael Kay Show. We thank you for joining us on this Friday, June 16th, 2023. Michael Kay, Don LaGreca, and Peter Rosenberg with you until 7 o'clock today. At that time, Dan Grosser will take over. I'm coming to you live from Fenway Park. Don and Peter are back in the Tri-State. We've got 4 hours of piping hot sports talk for you. You heard the announcement there about John Morant getting 25 games. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. I actually think it's fair. People saying 50 should get the season. I think they're out of their minds. He's still going to lose $50 million, and we'll see exactly what it does to curb some of his activities, which certainly fall under the heading of questionable. How you guys doing?
Wait, he's going to lose how many $1 million?
Windhorst said that with everything, it'll be $50 million with that.
How so much?
I guess, there's probably some appearance clauses with some of his sponsors and things like that.
Okay.
I mean, when you have a Nike contract, it's, so many games that you're off the court, that costs you something. That was a Windhorst line. It was about $50 million.
I saw the statement from Morant. My gut reaction when I heard it was 25 felt a little light, considering, I guess it was more considering how they were kind of hyping it like we don't want to even get into it during the finals. It kind of felt like it was going to be really big. I'm not sure if I think this is enough, but we'll see.
We'll dig deeper a little bit later on. Pretty important weekend for both New York teams. I think every single game that they're playing right now is kind of important, despite the fact it being just June 16th. So we dive into Diamond Notes, brought to you by London Jewelers, and I want to do a deep dive on the possibility of the Yankees and the Mets making the playoffs. Now, I think it's been pretty well documented that Don doesn't feel good about the Mets. Dave Rothenberg on DiPietro and Rothenberg today said their season is over. I think that's a little strong for me because I look at the lanes that are available for them to make the playoffs. So right now, in the East, they're 10.5 games behind Atlanta, and they have Miami and Philadelphia in front of them even before Atlanta. But if you're a Met fan, and Don, you could speak to this better than I can, do you believe that you could be better than Miami? Miami's 38-31. So at this point, they're 5.5 games better than you. Are you better than Philadelphia, who struggled? They're 35-34, the Phillies are. The Mets are 32-36. They start a 3-game set tonight at Citi Field against the Cardinals. So I would say the best avenue for the Mets to make the playoffs would be as a wild card. So there's not going to be a wild card, in my opinion, coming out of the Central. The Central is terrible. So Pittsburgh's in first place at 34-33. That's first place. So the winner of the Central will get in. There will be no wild card from the Central. Now let's look at the West. Arizona and the Dodgers. Now San Diego right now is in fourth place. San Francisco is 36-32. They're in third place. So let's look at the wild card contenders. Miami, Philadelphia, the Dodgers, and San Francisco. Now that's if you believe that Arizona has staying power. They've surprised me. They're 41-28. So I would say the Dodgers, to me, are a shoo-in. They'll get in. Or any of the other teams a shoo-in. Now, we can also piggyback on the fact that Justin Verlander pitched great against the Yankees. Now, the Yankees are a little bit of a suspect offensive team right now, but he did pitch great. If he pitches the rest of the season like that, that's a positive. Can Scherzer turn around from his awful performance on Tuesday? So, Don, in your opinion, what's the teams that you worry about the most with the wild card when it comes to the Mets? Because let's be rational here and eliminate the fact that they're going to catch the Braves.
Which makes sense.
Right.
I remember, again, different sport, but same logic. I remember doing shows with Neil Smith, the former general manager of the Rangers, and he said, you look at wins and losses, and sometimes that gets skewed. Look at goal differential. That will always tell you exactly how good a team is. Mm-hmm. And I think that does apply with run differential in baseball. And you take a look at it. Pittsburgh, how good are they? Well, they're in a lousy Central Division. They're in first place, minus 15 run differential. All right, Miami, you mentioned having a surprising start to the season, minus 30 run differential.
You know how hard it is, Don, to be 7 over and be minus 30? It's incredible.
So that tells you that it's going to even itself out. They're probably lucky winning a few games, but eventually that minus 30 run differential is going to catch up with you. Either you're going to turn it around and start scoring more runs than you allow, or that's going to come to roost, and now you're going to start to lose games. So I don't believe in Miami. Philadelphia, yeah, you got to believe in them because they went to the World Series last year, but the Mets own Philadelphia. They've got a minus 20 run differential. Milwaukee, minus 25. Cincinnati, minus 29. So I look at those teams and I say, forget their records. Those are teams that are not for real. That's a mirage. The teams that I think that are legit in front of them, San Francisco, you like their rotation.
You think they're legit?
I
That's
think
interesting.
They're a really good team. Plus 27 run differential. San Diego, all that money, really been disappointing this year, right? But they've got potential. Plus 25 run differential.
And the Dodgers are plus 63.
The Dodgers are either going to win that division or be the one wild card.
Right.
So and like you said, they're plus 63. So that's how good they are. They're probably going to be even better than 9 games above 500 when it's all said and done. So that's what's scary to me, is that even if you eliminate all those bogus teams that I mentioned, San Francisco and San Diego still could finish ahead of the Mets. So it's not a fait accompli, and the Mets have to turn it around.
Yes,
because they don't do anything.
That's a given. They have to play better.
So yeah, you're right. Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, mirage. But San Francisco, I think, could be legit. And I think San Diego's going to turn it around. And San Diego still's ahead of the Mets. And what about the Cubs? Lousy division, plus 4 run differential. So
the only one
And right now, their rotation, outside of what I think potentially could be a good starting pitcher in Verlander, is very much in flux. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to go as far as Dave Rothenberg would say it's over, because we've seen crazier things happen. But right now, Michael, I'm very, very worried about this baseball team, very concerned, and I am not nearly as confident as you, because I don't see the avenues that you see. The avenue of them getting better, I do not see, and the avenue of finding even a place to land in the wild card with the Dodgers, with the Giants, with the Padres, with the potential of the Cubs, I am just not as bullish as you are about their prospects of making the playoffs.
Well, here's the sobering part then. Now let's shift our focus and look at the Yankees. And when I say avenues, I say there are roads to get to a wild card, because the teams that are in front of the Mets right now, they don't intimidate me as much as some of the teams that the Yankees have to battle. So the Yankees, at this point, if the season ended, they would be a wild card. All right, so Tampa Bay is in front of the Yankees by 8 games in the loss column, 9.5 games in the standings. Tampa Bay is plus 142. Only Texas has a higher run differential by 1 run, plus 143. So Tampa Bay's getting in, and I think Tampa Bay's going to win the East, unless there's an unbelievable market correction. Same thing with the Central in the American League as there is in the National League. One team is going to crawl out of the Central. There's not going to be a wild card. There's not. Minnesota is in first place, 1 game over 500. Everybody else is under 500. And Minnesota has a plus 40 run differential. Everybody else is negative. Then we have the West, and the surprise in the West is this. Texas is a really good team. The moves they've made over the last couple of years, they've paid off. They made great signings with free agent pitchers. Evaldi might win the Cy Young Award. So Texas, great hitting team. They've got good pitching, and they're willing to add. So let's say that they somehow hold off the Astros. They're going to win the West. But now let's look at the competitors for the wild card. Baltimore leads the Yankees by 5 in the loss column. And the Orioles still might add people, and they've still got great young players that they could call up. I think the Yankees could catch the Orioles, but there's no guarantee. Now let's look at the West. The Astros really going away? Now, Yordan Alvarez might be out 6 weeks with an oblique pull, but are they really going away? Right now, they're 3.5 games behind Texas. Then the surprising Angels, 39 and 32, 4.5 games back. And then you have Seattle, 1 game under 500, 8.5 back, but I believe they're a better team than what they're showing, and the Yankees are actually playing them Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the stadium next week. Don, those are a lot of teams to get one of those 3 wild cards. So we don't know when Judge is coming back. We don't know when Nestor Cortez is coming back. I have a feeling that they will get back Carlos Rodon. Let's say by the All-Star break. That's just my feeling. I don't know about Nestor. I don't know when he's getting back, and I think they're going to be very, very careful with Aaron Judge. So let's say Aaron Judge, and this is just me guessing. Let's say he's out for another month. Let's take it to the All-Star break. That would be about another month.
3 weeks to be exact.
Well, it might even be longer. Do you think that they can keep up with those teams and stay in the wild card hunt? Or, as I've been saying, they should throw a parade down in Lower Manhattan if they play 500 till Judge comes back. If they can do that, then I think they will definitely grab a wild card. If they play under 500 and then they have to look up and climb to get a wild card, I think Don and Peter, the teams in front of them are not pretenders. Those are really good teams. The American League East has really good teams in it. The Central, no, but they're loaded in the AL East and the AL West. So I guess the question I have, if you're an investor in a Major League Baseball team, are you investing in the Yankees or the Mets to make the playoffs, to cash your bet? What are you doing? Who do you think has a better chance when you look at the avenues? I think the Yankees have the better team, but I'm saying look at the avenues to get in.
Yeah.
Who has the easier path?
I would rather have the better team than the avenues, because you can give me the avenues. If the Mets don't improve, Michael, they can't take advantage of them.
True.
Now we'll see if the Yankees can go
take
ahead,
advantage, John. They can't be involved.
Right.
I mean, I'm with you. This is like fantasy talk.
Yeah.
At this point,
and at least the Yankees have shown a history of being able to keep their head above water, having to deal with injuries. Now, this is a catastrophic one in Judge. I agree. But can they play 500? Well, right now they have a wild card spot. And I don't know what the Angels are going to do. The Angels have had a nice season. They're 7 games above 500, plus 20 run differential. Ohtani had another big night last night. Toronto's been very up and down, but we know what they're capable of doing. Seattle, I think, can be a lot better, but can they take advantage of the Yankees' play? I don't know. The one thing I do feel confident in is that Baltimore and Houston will stay ahead of the Yankees if the Yankees are only going to play 500.
Oh, of course.
But when they get Judge back, if they don't really take advantage, the Yankees still could be very much in striking distance to where they could still pass Houston and Baltimore. I agree with you. Judge out for a month probably cost them the division. But I think they can keep their head above water. They're already in. I don't believe in the Angels, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Mariners. Maybe if they can turn it around.
You don't
but
believe
that's a
in the
huge
Angels.
if. I mean, they haven't done it before.
Right. And also, I didn't mention Toronto. Toronto has the potential to be a good team.
Toronto does have the potential to be a good team. But will those teams, A, take advantage of the Yankees playing 500 to be able to pass them, and pass them significantly enough that Judge coming back, that the Yankees can't make up the gap? And I don't believe that to be the case. If you're telling me the Yankees play 500, drop to like 5th or 6th in the wild card, but are still within 2 or 3 games of a wild card spot, Judge coming back, there'll be enough time for them to be able to make up that gap and make the playoffs.
And I believe without Judge, they are a 500 team.
Right.
I believe with Judge, I don't believe we have empirical evidence. They're about a 640 winning percentage team. So that's why I say their goal should be just keep your nose above water.
Right.
Don't drown while he's out. The possibility of drowning is there, though, because you watch the Mets series, every time they score, it's like, wow, what an accomplishment, because they do not have a legitimately scary lineup right now without Judge.
Oh, play 400 baseball, Michael, you're cooked. You're going to have to play around 500 baseball, but if the bottom drops out, there may not be enough time. But clearly, I think I'm way more bullish on the Yankees because I think they're a better team. Like Peter said, so what? You've got more avenues, but if the Mets aren't going to turn it around, Michael, how can they possibly take advantage? The avenues exist now. And yet a minus 23 run differential, 4 games under 500, and still a ton of teams you have to pass. And you could talk about how easy the schedule of the Cardinals. Look at the record against some of the lousy teams in baseball, Michael, that they've played. And they haven't been able to have a winning record against any of them except the sweep against the A's. And if you remember the sweep against the A's, that was long before their 7-game winning streak, and you sweated out every one of those games.
Absolutely. Well, I think, weather permitting, because the weather in New York is supposed to be lousy all weekend, this is an important series for the Mets. It really is. It's an important series. There's no other way to cut it. And they've got to start. What have they lost? 9 of 11 games? 10 of 12, I think? You got to start winning at some point. You do. You can't just wait. And the one thing I'm surprised about, especially with a Buck team, they're fundamentally unsound. I think if they played tighter fundamental baseball, even with the team they have and the struggles they have, they'd win more games. They give away games on the bases. They give away games in the field. Not good. Not good at all. Those are Diamond Notes, brought to you by London Jewelers, the engagement experts. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. Now, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Ray in Brooklyn. Ray, start it off.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Big fan. I'm just wondering, what do you guys think the Yankees will do at the trade deadline? Do you think they'll try to get Cody Bellinger or any good lefties on the market?
Well, Bellinger's a possibility. Obviously, he was out there. You could have had him for nothing. They didn't go that route. And one of the surprising things for me, Ray, is that they went into the season without a left fielder. So you've got, 6 weeks until the trade deadline, 7 weeks. I guess you could gauge to see if, Bowers could be that guy. But they might have to make a trade. But if you bring in a Bellinger, what you've done is you've added another high home run, high strikeout guy. Do they really need that for the postseason? They need the guy they acquired last year or somebody like that. They need Benintendi. They need a guy who's going to put the ball in play. Doesn't have to hit the ball over the wall. They have enough power hitters out there. The strikeouts are there. We see the strikeouts are there. But if they get back Rodon and Severino figures it out, and then you would get back Nestor Cortez, you have to hope that nothing serious is wrong with his shoulder. You know what? You don't have to get a pitcher. You don't have to get a pitcher. And you might get back Jonathan Loaizaga, which means you don't have to get a reliever. You might have to get one more bat. You might have to get one more bat. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Richard. He is in Nebraska. What's up, Richard?
Hey, what's going on, fella?
Not much.
Richard.
Big fan. I'm a truck driver. Drive all over the country. Was paired up with a guy that was from New Jersey, so I got addicted to you guys.
Oh, thank you, man.
Good man.
No, but I don't understand how Michael Kay thinks that the Yankees are better than Red Sox the last 20 years. My grandfather was from Boston, so I just don't know what you're saying.
I never said that. How could I say that? The Red Sox have won championships. The Yankees have won one. I never said that.
No, but you kind of made a point the other day.
What I said, Richard, was this. What would you rather? Be in the playoffs every single year and have a chance to win a World Series, or win the World Series the Red Sox have and then 3 or 4 years finish in last place? That's all I said. I posed a question. I personally would take the 4 World Championships that the Red Sox have.
All right. Fair enough, man. You guys are awesome, man. Thanks for making my trip
really
around the country.
I believe that is. I just try to gauge from the show, guys, how Yankee fans would react if they ever finished in last place. And the Red Sox finished in last place a lot for a great organization, a lot. But I guess I'll tell you one thing. There is a real mutiny going on with the Red Sox and their fans right now. They're not happy with Chaim Bloom. Looks like they're going to finish in last place again for the second year in a row. They're not thrilled with them, but they haven't been that bad because in 2018 they won a World Series. But it's tough. Would Yankee fans accept? They'd be thrilled about the World Series, but they'd be going crazy about the last place finishes, Don. Let's be honest, they would.
But it's not even, Michael, I don't even think it's close. I don't think you'd find one Yankee fan who wouldn't rather have been the Red Sox the last 15 years.
You're probably right, because the World Series is sacrosanct.
Who cares? 3 World Series, so you have some bad years. I mean, Don, you agree,
but they
right?
Don't just have bad years, Peter.
But
they have terrible years.
But
I mean, even so.
But you know what's so funny, though, is that I think the Yankee fan would take the Red Sox run rather than theirs because they feel like the close but no cigar emboldens them not to make the necessary changes that they feel need to be made. So these fans want Cashman and Boone gone. Well, maybe a 100-loss season would have that happen. So they almost look at these close but no cigar seasons as, instead of saying, hey, my team's relevant every year, hey, it stops them from making any changes. And they give contract extensions to Boone and Cashman and don't blow it up. And always feel like that it emboldens them to believe that they're close when maybe are they really that close? I know statistics and standings tell you they are, but sometimes there's a big difference, Michael, from playing in the league championship series like they did last year to actually winning that series and then winning the World Series. We went with this with the Jets. Well, they were close in 2009 and 2010. They went to the championship game. We were in the Final Four. How can you say they're not close to the Super Bowl? But we saw they didn't win that championship game. And then to win that championship game, then there's another game to win the trophy. They're really only halfway there. So do they feel like, just have bottom out, and then maybe we can make the necessary changes?
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. But I hear what you're saying. That will never happen because they'll never allow themselves to get to that. I mean, the beast has to be fed. The network, the stadium, stuff like that, they would never, ever be bad like that. They wouldn't allow it. Whoa, what is that?
What was that?
Whoa, Fenway?
I don't know. Woo. Hey, it's game time. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. We have the Yankees at the Red Sox tonight, 7:10. That game will be on the Yes Network. And then we have the Mets and the Cardinals 7:10. That's at Citi Field, and that'll be on SNY. That's Game Time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. During the big games this season, enjoy a Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Remember, when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy responsibly. Hey, listen up, everybody. I want to tell you to try and join me as I'll be sailing on the first ever Legends of Baseball cruise on the Celebrity Cruises Apex on December 9th. We'll visit Key West, Cozumel, Belize, and Grand Cayman Islands. And I will be joined by current and past legends, including, how about this, Jose Abreu, Mickey Rivers, Cecil Fielder, El Duque, and many, many more. This exclusive cruise includes 5-star accommodations, entertainment, autograph sessions, delectable dining, and more. Staterooms are going fast, so visit www.legendsofbaseballcruise.com, where you can also register to win this cruise for 2 or call 1-833-734-SHIP for more info. Again, 1-833-734-SHIP. Promo code LEGENDS. Promo code LEGENDS.
Paying down debt can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Upstart makes it fast and easy. Borrowers can access the funds they need in as little as 1 business day. Checking your rate is fast, easy, with no cost to you or your credit score. Loans start at $1,000 and go up to $50,000. Join the club of over 1.8 million customers who have turned to Upstart for a personal loan. Your financial freedom begins at upstart.com.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring.
Every day, people take on their own challenging moments. A new path forward. A new beginning.
Hi. Good morning.
Their next chapter. Made possible with a little help from their Talkspace therapist. Talkspace. Get personally matched today with a therapist who can give you a little help too.
Good morning, you, and you. For the you who wakes up with a pile. Away luggage brings you color and style. For the you who must navigate what life reveals. Away suitcases have 360-degree wheels. Our luggage and bags fit together and are built to last through whatever. Keeping things easy for all of the yous, so you can take in all of the views. Ready for everywhere. Away.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
This is my coffee shop. And that's me in my custom shirt from Custom Ink. This week, we moved into a new, bigger space and brought on another employee. To celebrate, I ordered new branded gear for the whole team. Everything was so easy to make with Custom Ink's Design Lab. I just chose my products, added our logo, and placed my order. Our new gear really helps us look and feel like a team. Bring your own team together with custom gear. Get started today at customink.com.
Yep, it's Masterclass. There's a logo. And here's over 150 icons teaching you everything from philosophy to photography.
Whoa!
So what else do you get? Thousands of lessons where you can learn to start a garden, start a company, write a beat, make a statement, learn to make some bread.
We out here making money.
Design your home, own the room, get the shot, and leave a mark.
Learning a lot? Good. Ha ha!
Masterclass.
Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
When there's no defense, attacking gets much easier. Don't let that happen to your teeth. New Pronamel Active Shield provides 2 times stronger enamel defense and 24-hour cavity protection because strong enamel is the best defense against cavities. New Pronamel Active Shield. Here's the defense.
Where will you find your why? Grabbing hold as it sails by. During a summer full of wonder, an adventure under the stars, memories and moments connecting the near and far. When you find your spark, you find your why. This summer camp season, find your why for a better us.
To plan your stay. Peter, I don't know if I've ever seen or heard a better golf name, and he is now in a 3-way tie for the lead in the U.S. Open. It's Wyndham Clark.
Oh, wow.
He's on the 14th hole today, and he is 8 under. Ricky Fowler will tee off at 4:32 for the second round, also 8 under. Xander Schauffele, also 8 under. He's going to tee off just a little bit before 5. Then you have Harris English, 6 under. He's on the 15th hole. Dustin Johnson is 5 under. He's on the 15th
But
hole.
remember how crazy it is that Fowler and Schauffele are there, and they've been there since yesterday.
Yeah.
They haven't started yet. So other people got to 8 under today. They're already there. Greek sent me an incredible stat yesterday. And I guess this obviously speaks to the nature of Los Angeles Country Club. But in all majors since 1983, through the first 66,000 rounds played in those majors,
right,
there was 1 round of 62. Yesterday, there were 2.
Wow.
So I'm guessing that this course is just very player-friendly this weekend, at least.
And yet, the weird part is, I was reading more about the course. We talked about it yesterday. It's a very exclusive course. It's so exclusive that most of these players have never seen it. They've only seen it on video. They can't get on. They can't get on the course. It's a $250,000 initiation fee. There are all these unbelievable rules. We told you yesterday they will not allow entertainers, athletes, anybody. It's just a private club, but they are having the U.S. Open there. So the guys that are playing this just have never seen it.
Oh, my God. It makes perfect sense.
Why?
I'm not even kidding. Don, hear me on this. They only want these super rich people to play there. Why would these super rich people have to pay all this money, want to shoot a 105? It's just probably not the hardest course. It's just a course that's a playable. Yeah. It's beautiful, but they're not going to play. You go play Congressional in D.C. There are a lot of places you go play that are really tough for anyone to play. This is probably just sort of a regular course, and that's why the pros are absolutely bombing on it.
You can still change the pins. There are things you can do when you've got a major coming in to make it more difficult.
But Don, maybe that's why there are only a few people with 62s. You know what I mean? Maybe they have made it harder, and it would normally play much easier for these guys. Because the level that these guys are at, oh my God, they're doing an aerial shot of it right now, Michael. You got to see the houses near this course.
Yeah, and those people can't even join the club.
Why not?
Because, like I said yesterday, Bing Crosby had a huge house on the 14th hole, couldn't join the club.
Oh, because they don't want celebrities and entertainers.
They don't want celebrity. A lot of those houses are owned by celebrities. It's a very exclusive area.
Wow, what a weird place. But yeah, Don, my guess is they're making it as hard as they can. But since most of the people who play there are just rich jabronis, it's generally not that hard.
This portion of the Michael Kay Show on 98.7 ESPN is brought to you by Acura, precision-crafted performance. For exceptional lease and finance offers, visit Acura.com. Now let's go back to the phones, talking some baseball at the start. Let's go to Michael in the car. Michael?
How are you? I am calling, Michael, because I have this ongoing debate with you for a few years. You might remember me. I call and I get into it with you that Aaron Judge is not a cornerstone of an organization. You yell at me. You get me so you yell at me so bad. You make me nervous that I said something wrong. That I don't even know baseball. Actually, you said it once. I don't know baseball. I want to tell you, I really love baseball. I watch a lot of it. It's possible I don't know well enough, but I will say this, and I want to ask you with a question like this. If you put all the money and all of the backing behind one player who's as tall as he is, who is as big as he is, and who's had as much of a history as he does of injury, would you rather have that all that money in one basket with him, or would you rather have that money, especially if it's hard to come by with the Hal Steinbrenner administration, with maybe a bunch of different options potentially?
Well,
that is my question.
Let me stop you at the last part. The money's hard to come by. They have a $290 million payroll. Only the Mets have a higher payroll. You're intimating that Hal's cheap. That's what you're doing, right?
No. Okay, I take it back. But I mean harder to come by.
It's not harder to come by. There's only one team in the history of the sport that's had a higher payroll than the Yankees have this year.
Oh, okay, but we're doing now it's Captain Literal, man, a little bit. Because
I'm sorry. You just said, listen, rather than yell and get you nervous, I would put the money in Aaron Judge. He is a stupendous player. The injuries that he's had have not been, for the most part, muscle pulls. They've been catastrophic sort of injuries where something breaks or he runs into something, things like that. The last 2 years, he has not been injury prone. I'm sorry. The last time he was injury prone was during the COVID year. I think he played in 26 of the 60 games. So he ran into a wall that wasn't padded, wrongly not padded, and I say wrongly because now the Dodgers are padding the concrete part of it, and you're going to blame him. Listen, if you don't like Aaron Judge, I can't convince you otherwise. He is the cornerstone of the team. He is the team. So if you split that $40 million amongst other players, do you really think you're going to get anything with the production that approximates what Aaron Judge gives you and what he gave you last year and what he was giving you again this year before he got hurt in a freak accident running through a wall at Dodger Stadium? That would be my question to you. What couple of people are you going to throw together that are going to give you more production than Aaron Judge, who had a higher WAR last year than anybody in baseball? Who? You're going to give $20 million who? And $20 million to somebody else? Who? Give me the names. They don't exist because nobody other than Shohei Ohtani approaches Aaron Judge and what he means to the Yankees. Forget about off-the-field stuff and the face of the team. Forget that. I'm not even giving you that. If you keep calling in, I keep giving you the same answer. You think my answer is going to change? So your opinion is not going to change. So I think, it's a standoff. You believe he's not worth the money. I think he's actually a bargain. Because there were two teams that were willing to pay him way more money than the Yankees did and give him more years. So everybody in baseball can't be crazy. And we sit there and talk about it every day. We don't even understand why the Mets didn't go after him. That makes no sense. That's the one thing they need. They need a reliable bat. But I guess we're dug in. Let's go to Tony in Whitestone.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Good.
You know what? When you talk about the Yankees needing another bat, they already have one.
Mm-hmm.
Put Connor Phillips back where he belongs at third base. And the reason I say that is because you saw what happened with Gleyber Torres when we made him a second baseman. Back where he belonged, became a better hitter. Now, who's your shortstop? Put Josh Donaldson as your shortstop.
He's not a shortstop.
Why not? He can play
Because
third.
he's
He
not.
can play
He's
short.
not. He's a 37-year-old man. He's not a shortstop. He's played third base his whole life. You're gonna make a move like that and put him at short?
All I'm saying, well, then listen, make him the shortstop, make him the third base, and put Connor Phillips back.
How did that work out last year, Tony?
It didn't work out well because Boozy Watts was hurt all year.
Who was?
Third baseman.
No, but how did IKF work out at shortstop last year?
Why can't you? Well, all I'm saying is I think First of all, I think it would be easier on Donaldson to play short than it is to play third.
But Tony, that doesn't make sense. Tony,
you don't have to make that long throw.
But he's got a great arm. That's not his problem. He's a great defender. If you want to keep Donaldson's bat in the lineup, why would you move him off third? He's a Gold Glove level third baseman. And you want to put IKF at shortstop, where the Yankees benched him during the ALCS last year because he couldn't play the position. Good Friday. It's a good Friday.
Well, then, I'm
surprised if you could play third, you could play short. Now, if you could play short, you could play third.
As Alex proved.
But you're talking about a different range, different responsibilities.
And you're going to put an older guy in short. You're going to put a 37-year-old man at shortstop for the first time ever.
Leg problems, having getting taken out on a double play. No.
You did it to yourself, Michael. So.
No, I didn't. I took a phone call.
I mean, let's be honest. Where are we going to go right now about the Yankees? I'm sorry. It's the only subject. It's either kill Cashman or what else is wrong or Aaron Judge isn't the guy.
No, but that was a new one, Peter. That was new. Moving Donaldson to short, that was new. That was fresh.
Nothing's new under the sun with these people. It's always going to be the same thing. There's never going to be anything positive. We got literally, can we wait until they've won the World Series yesterday? There won't be anything positive.
Let's go to David. He's in Staten Island. David?
How's it going?
How you doing?
Hello, guys. How's it going? Good?
Good.
Peter, just letting you know quickly, Michael K is the best because he was the only guy to have a Kill K segment. So he actually had people call up and make fun of him.
I love it.
It was amazing.
I agree.
It was awesome.
But now, David, now the whole show is turned into Kill K. All Don and Peter do is make fun of me, so it's not fun for the segment anymore.
It's not fun, but you're fun. But listen, I don't know what I don't know what pills people taking today on Aaron Judge, but I'm a Met fan. I'd rather have Aaron Judge with all his money than Max Scherzer and all his money. And I got to tell you something else, and Michael, you intimated it yesterday. If Aaron Judge is in right field, he might have a better shot of making that catch over Bader.
Absolutely. Over Bowers. David, absolutely. I think he makes both the catches. He makes both of the catches. Aaron Judge is a really great right fielder. I don't even know why he hasn't won a Gold Glove yet. He's a great right fielder. And I also blame the Yankees a little bit, too, guys. Their outfield the entire game was playing way too shallow. Now, with Cole on the mound, that's a different story.
Right.
I guess because he's got such good stuff, but it still was too shallow even with him on the mound. That's why Bowers couldn't get to the ball. That's why IKF couldn't get to the ball. They were guarding it, and I'm sure there are statistics that show that balls will drop in front of you. But I remember something Jim Cott used to tell his outfielders. You play shallow. Anything that goes over my head, it's over your head is my fault. I don't believe in that, though. I believe play at a normal depth. If it falls in, it falls in, because I'd rather give up a single than a double or a triple.
Now, it goes over the fence, different story. But when you have a fly ball land on the warning track, that's catchable to me.
Yeah, it's got to be off the wall to and listen, I couldn't do it, but I'm just saying professional athletes, I thought all three of the balls that went over the head of Bowers and IKF could have been caught by either Bader, who's coming back tonight, and I'm still waiting to see what the roster move is, Bader or Judge if he was in right field. Let's go to Tristan in L.A. Tristan.
You know, I think we should put Jose Trevino in center field.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but Michael, I wanted to ask you, did you ever have words with Howie Rose over the succession thing? Because what he ruined for you was worse than the finale. That was it. That was the whole show.
Yeah, I never did, Tristan, because he was in a hurry. He came in, sat down. Right after the segment was over, he ran out. Yeah. I never had a chance. I'll do it when they're at Yankee Stadium, I promise. Maybe I'll even hit him.
I wouldn't go that far, but I still hold a grudge over someone that ruined The Sixth Sense for me, and I was 14 years old.
And you know what? If they tell you the ending of Sixth Sense, they've really ruined the movie.
No, that's a bad one.
I mean, because that's a one-trick pony.
I don't
if you
think
say
I've
the
ever
end of
been-
that.
Yeah, I think I had it in my top 5. I think it was number 1. I don't think I've ever been more shocked by an ending. Did not see that coming.
Here's the weird thing, guys. I didn't see The Sixth Sense for like 12 years after it came out, and I didn't know the ending. It was never ruined for me.
Well, it wasn't like the ultimate, conversation piece or anything. It was Like, the movie was very popular, but it wasn't one of those things where, like the end of Sopranos, that everyone discussed.
But I do believe that people did have respect, because if you knew that ending, it ruined the movie.
Sure did.
So people kept their mouth shut.
Yeah, my favorite part of seeing, I saw that movie twice. The second time I saw it was with my brother. You know how when you get to the ending, they basically then at the end lay out the entire thing?
Right.
And they show you all the moments to explain what happened?
Yeah.
After they did that, I looked at my brother, he looked back at me, and he just threw his hand over his head, like, went over my head. I don't understand. I went, they just explained it. They literally laid it out for you.
And your brother, from what I've heard, is very bright, too. I'm surprised.
I don't know who you talked to, because that was a very troubling moment.
For the whole family, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've been embarrassed about it ever since.
Hey, the redesigned GLC and GLE SUVs are available at Mercedes.
There's an easier way with Thumbtack. Download the app today and care for your home from top to bottom.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other night. Playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Is on pace to break the all.
The Athletic. Subscribe today.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
Bonobos presents A Course in Style with Justin Rose. Justin Rose, champion golfer with a champion swing. How does he do it? Well, let's take a closer look. Is it his flawless form? Elite balance? Consistent accuracy? Yes, and also those pants. Give me a little more of those pants, will you? Style, comfort, a great fit. These babies can do it all.
Wherever your tour takes you.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Thanks to Talkspace, Philip sparked a new beginning. He's starting over with a little nudge from his therapist, Matthew. Talkspace. Get personally matched today with a therapist who can support you in starting a new chapter.
Yep, it's Masterclass. There's a logo. And here's over 150 icons teaching you everything from philosophy to photography.
Whoa!
So what else do you get? Thousands of lessons where you can learn to start a garden, start a company, write a beat, make a statement, learn to make some bread.
We are making money.
Design your home, own the room, get the shot, and leave a mark.
Learning a lot? Good.
Ha ha!
Masterclass.
The path to business success is often unpredictable. Managing your bank account doesn't need to be. Find your flow with powerfully smooth banking that keeps you focused on bringing your vision to life.
simplest decision is often the right one. Introducing IO, the company credit card that offers 1.5% cash back on everything and streamlines card management.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
What's up, everybody? I'm here with one of my favorite people, Kelly O'Hara.
Oh, wow.
Now's the time. Right?
One of my favorite places I've ever played was London, 2012 Olympics.
Check out Home Plate New York on the Yes app.
Sam know about something even more urgent than his morning coffee.
Hey, Sam, did you know it's kitten season? Right now, thousands of kittens are in shelters across the nation, and they're in need of love and care. When there are too many kittens in shelters, they aren't able to receive the individual attention they so desperately need. That's where you come in. By fostering a kitten, you can provide the care they need until they're ready to be adopted. If you foster a kitten, even for a week, you'll be giving them a chance to grow up and find families of their very own. What's in it for you? A kitten will fill your home with joy, your movie night with lots of cuddles, and they'll even help your social posts look way cuter too. And if you foster a kitten, you'll be provided with everything you need to care for your furry friend. You just provide the love. Save some tiny lives. Adopt or foster a kitten today. To learn more about how you can make a life-saving difference, visit bestfriends.org/kittens.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Dealers. Let me get the latest. Okay, Wyndham Clark and Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele, all 8 under in the lead, but Clark is the only one playing right now. He's on the 16th hole, 2 under. Fowler will tee off at 432. Schauffele will tee up at 454. Then 2 tied at 2. Harris English and Sam Bennett, both 6 under. English is on the 16th hole. Bennett's on the 15th hole.
I mean, you guys, you realize that if let's suppose the guys at the top, Schauffele and Fowler just keep going crazy. They could be 30 under for the weekend.
That'll be a market correction, though.
I assume they won't keep that pace, but I'm willing to guess right now. I bet the winner is like minus 23.
Wow. I think I'll make you a side bet that the winner will be about 12 under.
Well, I will bet you right now 100 bones that the winner is closer to minus 23 than minus 12.
Okay, bet.
Wow. Lock
that in. This leaderboard update was brought to you by your Tri-State Acura dealers. Precision crafted performance. For exceptional lease and finance offers, visit Acura.com. So I saw this and I said, well, I got to tell the guys this because this is interesting. So Michael Jordan purchased the Charlotte Hornets for $180 million 13 seasons ago. So he just sold his interest in the team. Team is valued at between $3 and $4 billion now. He, from his investment alone, right, made $2 billion in 13 years. He made more money owning the Hornets than he has made from Nike in 40 years.
Wow. Being rich is something, right?
Well, being smart enough to buy a team. That's when people complain about owning teams. I've never seen a graph that goes straight up except for ownership of teams. Who sells for loss? Whoever sells for loss?
Nobody.
And now, another point I want to make about this, I always say that the players that want to help, like be a GM, they have no clue what makes a good team. Michael owned that team 13 years, 13 seasons. There's never been a winner like him in professional sports. In the 13 seasons, he never won a first-round series.
Nope.
Ever.
Well, that's the point I was trying to make. Like, you can call it smart, and he was smart enough to do it. But you can be rich, put your money in the right place, be terrible at your job and still make more money.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, I'll tell the truth because no one thinks I know anything anyway.
True.
I'm a fan of the NBA. I will legitimately forget what the name of the team is that plays there. They literally haven't even kept their brand together.
It's the Bobcats. What's going on there?
It's an absolute dumpster fire of an organization, and now he gets out and has made more money than he ever. That's insane.
And he made a lot of money with Nike, thanks to his mom.
I still haven't watched the movie.
Oh, you gotta see it. It's streaming now.
I know. It's a gem. It's a real gem.
It's a really well done movie. Affleck really did a good job with it.
But you're right about these sports teams and their value.
Never go down, Don.
But you don't have to do anything. Just buy it and just sit there and wait.
I remember we were doing a show from Giant Stadium then, I guess. No, it was MetLife by then. And I was talking with Woody Johnson, the Jet owner, and he had paid $180 million for the Jets. Right? Which seemed like an outrageous amount of money. And I told him, I said, wow, I mean, that's a really good investment. He goes, nah. Because you kind of put that money in investments other than a team and make way more money. If he sold the Jets right now, I think he'd get $5-6 billion. And he owns the whole team. So 180 and then $5-6 billion.
No, even the Ottawa Senators were just sold. They need a new building. It's in Canada. It's not a big market whatsoever, and it was like slightly under $1 billion that they sold for. It's incredible. And then you'll wait, and then whoever bought it for whatever the $990 million that he sold it for will just sit on it for 5 years, then sell it for $3 billion. You don't have to do anything, and you don't even have to win.
Yep, just hold on to it.
Just hold on to it. I don't know when it's going to bottom out. We've gone through how many different economic crises, whether we've been in recessions. We just went through COVID where you thought, okay, maybe after COVID you'd see these franchises be devalued because of all the money that was lost. No, it is just, it is incredible. You're right. They're probably in the NBA, which is as high-profile league as there is in this country. Charlotte's like, yeah, I mean, nothing. There's nothing that comes out of Charlotte. I mean, the first thing you think of about Charlotte is Shaq and Grandmama. Like, nothing's happened since then. I don't even know. Are they the Bobcats still? Are they the Hornets? How many? $3 billion?
Yeah, well, they're different valuations, except that I know that they say that Jordan made $2 billion on the investment. So it had to be over $2 billion.
Yeah.
Some say $2 billion, $3 billion, $3.5 billion, but he did well. I'm surprised he got out. I mean, he loves the action, you would think. I don't think he needs the money because Nike continues to send him hundreds of millions of dollars each year. But maybe he's just got tired of it. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know why I just said Shaq. I meant Grandmama, Larry Johnson.
Well, and then you look at Steve Cohen, right? And people say, "Oh, I think he paid $2.1 billion for the Mets." So how long has he owned it? 3 years?
3 years.
Well, he'd get $4 billion right now if he put the Mets up for sale.
So basically, he's owned it during COVID.
Right. Look at Alex. Alex and his partner, Mark Lowry. So they bought the Timberwolves for $1.5 billion. That's a lot of money, you say, right, for the Minnesota Timberwolves? He could make $3 billion. He could sell that team for $3 billion. They've owned it for 3 years. So he would have doubled his money in 3 years.
This is depressing.
So this is, Peter, this is kind of, I guess, the equivalent of, it's like art.
Yeah, they don't keep making them. I mean, occasionally have expansion, but they don't keep making these things.
Because, again, Charlotte hasn't won anything. It's not an incredible market. I mean, it's a good market. Maybe you could look at it as maybe untapped. But it's not the Lakers. It's not the Knicks. It's not Broadway.
I mean, the biggest celebrity who shows up to a Hornets game is the baby. Okay, it's not exactly the Knicks or the Lakers.
I mean, if you bought a soccer team in the United States, you've made money. If you wanted to sell it now, a lot of money.
I would really. When was the last time? There has to be a date when a team sold for a loss.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Not any time recently.
But has there ever been a think about this? Like, rich people seem like they know how to make investments where they get 20% returns. It's not available for normal people.
Right.
But out of pocket in 1973, out of pocket, everybody, George Steinbrenner $100,000 for his share in the Yankees. Now, he's bought other shares along the way. He bought to have a significant share of them. I think if Hal Steinbrenner put the Yankees up for sale, he would fetch upwards of $7 to $8 billion. Right. So that $100,000 in 1973, there ain't no investment that they could have bought $100,000 in that would be worth $8 billion today.
But you're still talking about 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Like you were saying you were talking to Woody Johnson, so it was probably right around maybe, I remember that. It was
right when MetLife opened.
Yeah, it was like 2009, 2010. It was 2010.
Yeah, and he poo-pooed it and said, there's better ways to invest your money than a team.
13 years ago, under $900 million he paid for the team. They're going for at least $4 minimum.
Oh, did he pay that much? Oh, I thought it was like, it was Jerry Jones was at 180 for the Cowboys. People said he was nuts.
Wow.
No, but that's at least 30 years ago. I'm saying that 13 years ago, Woody paid under $1 billion for the Jets. What do the Jets go for now if he tries to sell them?
Well, what did the Commanders go for?
5.4. So basically, it went up $5 billion in 13 years.
And that's just what it's valued at, Don. If you put it on the market and you get hedge fund guys bidding for it, you're going to get more.
Well, the Commanders landed at $6 billion.
Well, this is a New York team. It's got to be more.
And I know you'd say that, but the Redskins are historically, for whatever crazed reason, among the most valued franchises.
Okay,
I think
I'll buy that, but they also play in a rat trap of a stadium.
And have been terrible. Right. I totally agree with you. That's what's crazy, too. Snyder, another example, not that bright. Really doesn't do a good job with anything. Made billions on this deal.
So you can say that he hit a home run. Now, to hit a home run, everything needs to line up perfectly.
The Michael Kay Show.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring.
You definitely do not need to go to business school to become more successful.
Great negotiation is about great collaboration.
Pull the plug. Fire faster.
No matter what you do, you are in sales.
Don't worry, we've got your butt covered.
I have lucid dreams almost every night. I keep thinking I have some kind of double life. Years ago, I came up with the design for a beautiful flowy dress with a pattern made from real flowers. During hard times, I go into survival mode and I have bright dreams every night. Every night, I close my eyes and I find myself inside my brain. I travel through memories and time. I just want to keep dreaming forever.
The path to business success is often unpredictable. Managing your bank account doesn't need to be. Find your flow with powerfully smooth banking that keeps you focused on bringing your vision to life. Wherever your company goes, Mercury is there with banking products like checking and savings accounts, debit and credit cards, wire transfers, and financing, all designed to scale with your company.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to thebblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
e-tron. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Kick it up a notch like Waxton. Let's go. Aaron Judge, case closed. Yeah, Cole. We about to turn it up. Swing and a miss. Bases loaded. Stanton, big win for the Yankees. We on a whole nother level now. We gonna turn it up.
What's up, everybody? Chef Marcus Samuelsson here on Home Plate New York on the Yes app.
From pinstripes to chef whites, Yankee stars take to the kitchen and explore some of their favorite New York cuisine. Plus, celebrities, athletes, and icons join Marcus at some of the hottest tables in town. Check out Home Plate New York, streaming now on the Yes app.
Starting lineup against the Red Sox tonight. I just got it, and you can have it here on 98.7 ESPN. Brought to you by Bigelow Tea and Corona. A little bit of a concern here. Bowers is in right field leading off. Stanton, the DH, will bat second. Torres at second will hit third. Rizzo at first cleans up. Batting fifth, third baseman Josh Donaldson. Willie Calhoun's in left field. He's going to bat sixth. Batting seventh, playing center field, Billy McKinney. So where's Harrison Bader? Kyle Higashioka will catch him, bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing shortstop, Anthony Volpe, with Domingo Germán pitching for the Yankees. Tanner Houck will go for the Red Sox, still waiting on the Red Sox starting lineup. That's tonight's Yankees starting lineup, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea is a proud supporter of the Michael Kay Show and the official hot tea of the New York Yankees and Corona. Enjoy the finer life of sports. Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. So we'll wait until Aaron Boone speaks to find out exactly why Harrison Bader is not in tonight's lineup. He was supposed to return today. All right, so we opened up the show talking about John Morant getting 25 games at the start of next season, I guess for the video. Now, I guess I'm the only one that didn't feel like that was as bad as what had been done previously. Listen, there's a lot of people at speed, and they don't get tickets. You can go 95 miles an hour on the merit, not get a ticket. You can go 76, get pulled over, you get a ticket. Doesn't mean that the guy who did 95 or the gal that did 95 is not guilty. They didn't get caught. John Morant on an Instagram live looks like he's swinging a gun around. Nobody got killed. It shows terrible judgment. We have no idea. He could have said it was a toy gun.
He did. In fact, recently that's been said.
All right, so how can you prove it? Some lunatic friend of his put it on IG Live, and maybe he's spinning out a toy gun. Now, I don't believe that. I think it was a real gun. But you got to be careful when you're hammering people like this and suspending them and taking their livelihood away. Because let's say the gun was registered. Let's say it wasn't a toy gun, and it was a registered gun, and he actually had it legally. Is it a crime for him to spin it around in the air? Anyway, here's Woj explaining why 25 games.
Well, remember, 8 games last season, late in the year, and now 25 games, one jumping off point that has impact. You miss 18 games now. There's a 65-game minimum that players have to play to make All-NBA, to be MVP, to win Defensive Player of the Year. Well, he's out of consideration now, John Morant is, for any of those postseason awards. So that will kick in with this new collective bargaining agreement. You know, you looked at the Miles Bridges suspension in Charlotte, 30 games. You know, you've got to find some precedent here. And for the league, I think the Players Association, if this was half the season, if this was the entire season, different scenarios people threw out, there wouldn't have been precedent for.
Now, I thought Peter brought up a great point right at the start of the show.
I always do.
Why did Silver intimate that it was going to be, I don't know, 3 or 4 years? Obviously, it's hyperbolic what I'm saying, but he said we're not doing it now, but it's going to be significant. Well, 25 games obviously is significant because all of those benchmarks that Woj talked about gets players extra money. That's why this is going to cost him about $50 million over the life of his contract. Potentially cost him because he is a great player. But this wasn't the hammer that we thought it was going to be, Peter.
No, that's the part for me. The way it was talked about was like a hammer. It was 8 games the first time. It happens again. To me, the fact that he showed such a terrible lack of judgment meant it had to be a significantly bigger punishment than the first time. That's just what common sense would tell you.
Well, it's 3 times as long.
So it is 3 times as long. At the same time, guys, I could argue, and in fact I will, because I have a sports talk show which I can do that. It's kind of the minimum it could have been. They couldn't have done less than this. What would they do? 10? The same as the first time? After he commits the same act again after being punished once? You can't do that. So maybe they could have went to 15 games, maybe. But considering they'd made such a big deal about it already, it seems like that would be an impossibility. So to me, kind of, Don, what I'm saying is, while 25 is significant, given the seriousness of what has happened and the fact that he already has done it once, I think Silver ended up going with the minimum punishment possible.
Well, again, you gotta look at precedents, and also, was a crime committed? This is where it really gets very a gray area.
Exactly.
In the whole, it's just a bad image. It's a bad look. It's a bad optic. Well, if the gun is registered, is there anything illegal about going on video swinging a gun around? No. Now, I think we can all agree it's a bad look. It's a bad optic for his team in Memphis. It's a bad optic for the NBA. But how do you put a number on that? So when you break a rule, when you commit a crime, it's easy to put a number on it. But when you're talking about optics, it's very difficult. So that's where you have to go to precedent. All right, 25 games. Now, the next time something like this happens, we can look back and go, well, that's what they gave Ja Morant, 25. You want to give him 30, you want to give him 50, whatever. If he does this again, now you can go have a jumping off point. But you have to be careful, especially with a Players Association, of how far can I take non-criminal activity that everybody believes is still wrong, but without actually a crime committed or a rule broken, how far can we take this?
Now, Morant released a statement, which I'm not going to read because it's so benign and
it's
kind of
fine.
flaccid. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Excuse me? I don't know if I'd go that. I think it's okay.
What did he say? I have to be better. He said the same thing when he had the 8-game suspension.
I have it in front of me. I've had time to reflect, and I realize how much hurt I've caused. I want to apologize to the NBA, the Grizzlies, my teammates in the city of Memphis, to Adam Silver, Zach Kleiman, and Robert Pera, who gave me the opportunity to be a professional athlete and have supported me. I'm sorry for the harm I've done. To the kids who look up to me, I'm sorry for failing you as a role model. I promise I'm going to be better. To all of my sponsors, I'm going to be a better representation of our brands. And to all of my fans, I'm going to make it up to you, I promise. I'm spending the offseason and my suspension continuing to work on my own mental health and decision-making. I'm also going to be training so that I'm ready to go when I can be back on the court. I know my teammates are going to hold it down. I'm so sorry I won't be out there with you at the beginning of the season. I hope you'll give me the chance to prove to you over time I'm a better man than what I've been showing you. I'm fine with the statement. I think there's some sincerity in there.
Well, it's something that can get thrown back in his face if he ends up doing this again.
Correct.
So you've now set a template. All right, how are we going to handle this the next time he does something stupid? So all this stuff is important. If he turns himself around, then it'll all be forgotten and fine. He did the right thing. He's a good kid. He just was misunderstood, blah, blah, blah. But if 2 months from now he gets caught doing something stupid, well, what did you say in your statement? We've already given you a 25-game suspension. So you got to start somewhere, guys. And it is still a third of the season. It takes him out of some awards that I'm sure had financial bonuses attached to it. So it's not nothing.
And what happens with those awards? Well, by the way, I think it's ridiculous that people's financial remuneration is hinged on votes of media members. It's rife with corruption. It's just awful. But what it means is if you hit a certain all-NBA level or something like that, then your salary for the next 3 years goes up. It's allowed to go higher if you're all-pro or all-NBA. So this will cost him about $50 million.
Yeah.
Now, Woj on First Take said that Morant needs to be better. Let's see what he means.
Your history does matter. Ja Morant has been under investigation by the NBA for well over a year on a number of different incidences. They went through it with him last season at the end with the gun situation in the Denver nightclub. And again, listen, his career, his future, again, as a face of this league is in peril if his behavior doesn't change. I think they're starting to see things in Memphis that give them some hope, some confidence that it will. But Ja Morant is going to, through his actions, have to show this over time.
Now, think about this. The first time he got zapped the 8 games, I think it was worse. He allegedly came out and was waving a gun at somebody that was at his house. And then the gun he was waving and threatening people at the strip club. He's just waving a gun like a nudnik in a car. But I guess what Woj said about the repeat, still didn't clean up. Well, I guess the next time it could be 50 games. But remember one thing, and we always talk about this, and there's two things the commissioner could do. Work with the Players Association to come up with a suspension that will not be challenged and then lessened, or zap them for everything that you want to, just for the optics of it, that you look like the hero, and then it's going to be lessened when they take it to arbitration. And I think that Silver worked with the NBA Players Association. I don't think he could have given him 50. I just don't think so. So they both came to the agreement of 25. I'm sure that Morant's advisors were part of that as well. Everybody just seems to think it's so easy, like what Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell could do what he wants because the NFL Players Association is not that strong. The NBA Players Association is strong. The MLB one is strong. Hockey's not. Football's not. But you have to work with the union in order to get a penalty that could stick. But we'll see. Now, another thing that I was thinking about that we talked about yesterday, I looked at the difference between Bradley Beal and Zion Williamson, and I was kind of lukewarm yesterday about whether I would go for Zion. I've changed my tune. You'd be crazy not to. He's 22 years old. Bradley Beal's 28, 29. Zion's 22. If you could harness that talent, are you kidding me? I'd make that deal. If I could get a fair deal because he makes a lot of money, I don't think they're going to trade him. Because Alan and I was talking today about how they want to run it back and see if they could actually get the most out of him, which could end up exploding in their face. Because if they don't, he doesn't want to play there, then they're going to sell him for 10 cents on the dollar. But, Peter, you understand what I'm saying? The talent that's there, he's just 22. You could change your body when you're 22 years old. Bradley Beal is what Bradley Beal is going to be. And Allen also said he doesn't think there's any way the Knicks would be interested in Bradley Beal.
Now, why wouldn't they have any interest in him?
Yeah,
well,
that's...
Here is Allen. That's a good question on Barton Hahn.
A very good question.
Let's see why they wouldn't.
The sense I get from talking to several people in the last 2 days, the Knicks are not going to be one of those teams. They don't want the contract. It's a lot. It's a big number. They're not in the place right now to make that kind of a move. The sense is, I think Bradley Beal would play for the Knicks. It's not that he doesn't want to come here, but I don't think the Knicks at this time, after what they went through last year, what they see out of some of their younger players, it doesn't seem like they are ready to make a move for a contract that's going to cost them $50 million a year.
And also, when you make that move, guys, then you're out on Dame Lillard. You're out on Cat. You're out on if Antetokounmpo decides he wants to get out of Milwaukee. You're out on that. So the next big move they make has to be right. It can't be on Bradley Beal. I understand that.
I hear what he's saying with regard to the contract. I don't like the logic if it's about, quote, what they've seen from the young players last season. Because that's also... Allen implied that they don't know they want to be in the business, not only because of the contract, but it sounds like because they'd want to hold on to pieces they have because of what they've seen. Guys, haven't we played that game already? The falling in love with what they have on the court? With the exception of a couple of people, all three of us agree there's no one you can't part with.
Well, Brunson.
That's what I'm saying. Right. With the exception of Brunson. I would really like to keep Hart also. I'm not saying you absolutely can't go on without him. I just like what he brought to that team. But if you're telling me there's a deal that would be, Randall, Toppin, the Rose contract, and the draft picks, that Bradley Beal doesn't interest you, so you can have a real top guy to depend on, I don't know. The contract worries me more than the player's done.
Well, then I think that's it. It's just that you're talking about in the 26-27 season when he is going to be, 33 years old. You're going to be paying him over $57 million. That's the kind of stuff they want to try to avoid.
Here's a little more on the Knicks from Allen as well about Randall and Barrett's future.
I believe that as long as Leon Rose and William Wesley are running this franchise, Julius Randle is going to remain a Knick. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they are all very much invested in each other. And so I don't see it happening unless there's some major trade out there that you can't say no to. I just feel like they look at him as a very important piece to what they're doing.
Okay. What about R.J. Barrett?
That I can't answer. If I'm being directly honest, that's not one I can answer. I cannot say yes or no to whether or not he'll be here. I don't know. Remember, he was on the table for Donovan Mitchell, and then they paid him because they decided to take him off the table.
And let's go to Windhorse at Sea right now. He was on First Take, and he talked about whether the Knicks are going to remain patient.
The Knicks did something very impressive to me over the last 12 months that they haven't always done over the last 20 years, and that is they showed patience. When Donovan Mitchell was on that block, and we all know how you feel about it, and frankly, had they traded for Donovan Mitchell, who knows what would have happened. But they looked at that trade offer that the Jazz wanted, and they said, we don't think that that is a package that we should pay. They actually had patience and said, we're going to stand with what we've got, and we're going to stick with our game plan. And it worked. The challenge here is, can you stay patient? Can you wait for the big fish?
But then you have to decide, guys, who's the big fish.
Yeah, and will he want to come here?
Right. Is it Beal? Obviously not. Is it Karl Anthony Towns? Who, by the way, I heard, Peter, he's changed the game. He's going to be remembered forever.
You're not able to see it yet, Michael, but in time you'll know he changed the game.
And then when it's brought up to him, he's going to be very appreciative of that.
Well, he has let us know that when that day does come, he will be grateful and appreciative.
Now, let's hear from Kendrick Perkins about the Zion situation with the Knicks. Here's Kendrick on First Take.
I understand we just witnessed the Denver Nuggets win the championship, and we talk about how they had patience with Jokic and Jamal Murray. But the New York Knicks don't have a Jokic. So it's not about being patient. It's patient when you have a superstar and an MVP caliber player. That's when you have patience. If I'm the New York Knicks, hell yeah, I try to get Zion Williamson. Without a doubt. We talk about the mecca of basketball. We talk about the Knicks finally getting a superstar. Hell yeah, I jump off the porch and try to go get a Zion Williamson.
Kendrick and I with lockstep. Lockstep.
Not me.
You would not get him.
Nope.
No way. Nothing.
What? I'm not saying nothing. All right. If I don't have to give up much, sure. Would I be more excited or willing to take risk on Zion than I would on Bradley Beal? No. I'll put it this way. I'd rather risk Bradley Beal's exorbitant contract than a good deal on Zion Williamson, in which I believe he'll end up playing 35 games a year.
Well, Zion's also has an exorbitant contract. Just not as exorbitant, but he's like $45 million a year.
That's pretty exorbitant. So between that and the fact that he averages about 30 games a year, I'm good. I love him. Guys, you guys know he's the only Dookie who ever made me run to my television to watch him. I was obsessed with watching the guy. He's a phenomenal player. Don, I just cannot believe, as a team that you believe is going to take a step forward, can rely on someone like Zion. I'm sorry.
Like I said yesterday, unless you're convinced that everything on and off the court has been about him getting out of New Orleans, and once he goes someplace he wants to go, he'll be great. Now, I don't like the fact that he would take that kind of path to get out of New Orleans. But if that's the case, and you're convinced of that he's going to stay healthy, that he's not going to be dating porn stars, he's not going to look bad.
No, you can date porn stars. Just avoid the controversy, please.
Well, it comes with that. I mean, I guess it's not. Again, we get back to the optics or whatever. But do whatever you want. It's worked out for Ice-T. But the point is.
Whoa, Don. Let me help you out here, bud.
What's the matter?
Ice-T did not end up with a porn star.
No.
She was a model, definitely not a porn star.
Okay, so
I know you love Ice-T and wouldn't want to say something accidentally.
It didn't matter. There was a misunderstanding, but I didn't care either way.
Right, exactly.
But that accentuates my point that it didn't matter. But I'm just saying that if you're going to be, because a lot of these things that are happening in New Orleans, they become 10 times bigger in New York. Now, and you don't want any of that to happen. But if it's all just some kind of grand scheme to get out of New Orleans, as much as I don't like doing that. If he's going to mind his P's and Q's here in New York, he's a heck of a player.
The NBA PA Executive Director, Tamika Tremaglio, she's not real thrilled with the John Morant discipline. As to the discipline imposed, which keeps him off the court until December and requires some unstated conditions to be met before he can return, we believe it is excessive and inappropriate for a number of reasons, including the facts involved in the particular incident, and that it is not fair and consistent with past discipline in our league. We will explore with Ja all options and next steps. Well, Ja kind of undercut her. In his statement, he didn't complain about it.
Nope.
He has to be better. He understands what he's done wrong. He makes Tamika look like she's not in contact with John Morant. John Morant didn't say a word about that it was bad. And I think that Silver probably passed it through. Maybe she's just saying that for the optics. Say we're fighting for our people. This will not get struck down. If anything, 25 will be looked at as light. Although I think it might be excessive, because I want to know what he did wrong if he's claiming it's a toy gun. Do they have other information that we don't know about? I don't know. I'm not sure, because toy guns shouldn't get you suspended 25 games.
But it's on top of what happened before. They said they did a thorough investigation, so whether it's a toy gun or not, I'm sure they found that out. Right. But still, you sent out a video in which you were making it seem like it was a real gun. It just looked awful. And it's the second time he's done this. He didn't seem to learn his lesson the first time. And we didn't even bring it up. What Peter's been talking about all along, you feel like there's other issues that you'd hope he gets help on. Whether it's alcohol or whatever else, that you hope both sides would agree that if he needs help, make sure he gets it.
You would certainly think that $50 million would get his attention. Hey, I have the Mets starting lineup here.
Okay.
Brandon Nimmo in center, Starling Marte in right, Jeff McNeil at second, Francisco Lindor at short, Brett Beatty at third, Tommy Pham in left. Look who's back. Daniel Vogelbach, the DH. Yep. He's in the lineup. The mental break is over. First baseman Mark Canha.
Welcome back.
And batting ninth.
Welcome Vogelbach.
Omar Narvaez. Peter, you know how I feel about Pepe Motors. I love the people, I love the cars, and I think you do
as well. Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Look at you, hostess with the mostest.
How does she do it?
But no one knows that earlier today...
It's not finished?
Oh, my.
Oh, come on.
But you kept your cool.
I just planted those?
Sort of. And ordered everything you needed from Lowe's on Instacart. Yeah, look at you. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
Local hero, national champ, now he's home and expected to save the franchise and continue to go forward with hope as the plan.
What's up, guys? I wish this was in person so I could buy each and one of you a beer or something. Let's play the game. Hey guys, am I dreaming or can we actually win this thing?
I chose Upstart because I was on financial aid for school. It did run out. Once I found Upstart, I was kind of relieved. They're interested in my background. They were looking at more than just my credit score. I was able to get my money fast. I was able to consolidate all of those credit cards into one payment and raise my credit score so that I was able to make that move right after college.
Beautiful ladies, loving it. Beautiful family, jealous. Bride is the best day of your life. There's that smile. That's a keeper. Let's get the lucky men in here, huh? Oh. All right, we got it. Groomsmen. Okay.
Some days are just too important for a trashy suit. Rent from theblacktux.com.
I lucid dreams almost every night. I keep thinking I have some kind of double life. Years ago, I came up with the design for a beautiful flowy dress with a pattern made from real flowers. During hard times, I go into survival mode and I have bright dreams every night. Every night, I close my eyes and I find myself inside my brain. I travel through memories and time. I just want to keep dreaming forever.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home. And the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
10 years ago, we started Untuckit out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuckit, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Shop our Father's Day sale today at untuckit.com.
Listen up and get a load of this.
New York sportscaster Russ Salzberg brings his passion and his podcast to the Yes app.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Get a load of this. Brought to you by Western Beef Supermarkets. Think fresh, save big.
We on a whole nother level now. We about to kick it up a notch like Braxton. Let's go. Aaron Judge, case closed. Yeah, Cole. We about to turn it up. Swing and a miss.
Bases loaded. Stanton. Big win for the Yankees.
We on a whole nother level now. We gonna turn it up.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
3 to 7 p.m. with giveaways for fans in attendance and music from the Moroccan sheep herders. It's all brought to you by Patron Tequila, Stoli Vodka, BetMGM, All American Auto Group, Calandra's Bakery, and Flight by Yingling. You must be at least 21 years of age to enter. We are still awaiting word. Aaron Boone has not spoken with the media yet. It's a little bit curious that Harrison Bader was supposed to be activated and in the lineup today against the Red Sox. He's neither in the lineup nor is he activated. He is not on the lineup card, so he's not an extra. He's not working off the bench. So did he have a setback in those rehab games? We will find out when Aaron Boone addresses the media. Once again, Harrison Bader is not on the lineup card, which means he has not been activated off the IL. And if you're a Yankee fan, you have to root really hard that he did not have a setback. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Al in Monroe. Al.
Hey, how you doing, Michael?
Good. How are you, Al?
Good. Good afternoon, Peter, Donald.
What's up?
I'm calling about the U.S. Open. Mike, I think you are so spot on that it's going to be so much closer to 12 than to 23. And Xander, they shot 262s within an hour of each other.
That's right.
The reason why, so they made history. The reason why is because the course wasn't able to defend itself. And here's what the USA is depending on. They're depending on the sun coming out, the winds coming up, drying the course out, which is going to make it almost impossible, okay, for you to hold the greens on these long, like the last three holes are over 500 yards each, and they're all par fours. So it's going to make it almost impossible if it dries out and the sun comes out to hold the greens. Peter, if either of these guys were to get to 23 under, they have to shoot 5 under 3 days in a row. Neither one of them started yet today in order to get to 23 under. 5 under 3 days in a row. So far today, the best score that was posted is -4 under. That's the best score in the clubhouse for today's round.
Ow.
5 under 3 days in a row is going to be impossible.
Ow. This is the easiest hundy I've ever made in my life. Don't scare him off the bat.
You're absolutely right, Michael. And I'm willing to bet Peter. Peter, if you want a side bet, I will lay you 2-to-1 odds. 2-to-1. I'll put up $1,000. Okay, you put up 500.
I already made a bet. I made a bet. How confident do you think I am in this? No, why? You think I've been thinking about this my whole? You think I've been thinking about this my whole life? I thought about it for 38 seconds, and I made the bet. I'm not betting more money. I appreciate the offer, but no way. And you're certainly more informed than I am, so I take your word for it. But by the way, remember, I don't have to get to 23. No. I have to get to 18 to win. So, yes, in theory, then let's take Fowler for example, who's starting the day at 8 under. He would have to go -10 over the next 3 rounds.
So is 17 a push? Because we'd both be 5 off.
17, no. 17's a win for you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That would be 6 away from me. I'm sorry. Yep.
17's a win for you. 18's a win for me. But it's not the number he said.
In Virginia, Mike.
Hey, guys. Thanks. First-time caller. Been listening for 10 years, and you make my afternoons much better, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Don, I know that you're not a big golf guy, but I'm going to follow up with that last caller. You all mentioned that the course is playing easy, and I just wanted to kind of just make a quick point on that. The course management team was actually interviewed last night after the first round and showed mild frustration with how the course has been played so far and after that first round. And I think the way it has played, it has a lot to do with the rain that LA has gotten this year. The course has much softer conditions than anticipated, and players are taking full advantage of that by going for the pins. So it's definitely not the course conditions that it should have been. And this major, just in the past, this major has it usually has the hardest conditions for players to overcome. I think you guys remember 2018, Brooks Koepka actually won by shooting 1 over par after 4 rounds. So this major traditionally is supposed to be much harder, much more rigorous, and I think as long as the sun comes out on Saturday and Sunday, just like that last caller stated, I think the conditions are going to be much harder. Greens are going to be much faster. It's going to be a lot harder to get the ball close to the pin. So
I mean, but it has my thing is it's going to change. I don't know enough. I'm not an expert on greens conditions. Certainly, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but. You're telling me it's going to make that much of a difference after basically an entire rainy year? If the sun comes out Saturday, we're going to see a huge jump?
That is what the course management team is depending on. That's what they stated in the interview.
What does that mean, though? Why do they care? I mean, listen, I get what you're saying. The tradition is that the U.S. Open's generally played a lot closer to even. But, I mean, as long as great players are playing great, do you as a viewer, get disappointed that they're posting low scores?
No, absolutely not. I think it's been a great topic of discussion, right? Because traditionally we're expecting to sit there for 4 hours to watch a round and see these guys. They're not scoring. Now you're seeing something that is not tradition. So it's definitely opening up a lot of eyes, and it's going to make Saturday and Sunday that much better because we're still expecting course conditions to get harder. So I think it's actually going to bring more eyes to the TV this weekend as well.
But you could also see records getting broken can draw more fans, and I've always been told that not only are you competing against the other players, but you're also competing against the course.
That's right.
So if the course is that easy, does it take some of the fun out for the traditional golfer to say, man, this is ridiculous? I understand that you're competing against the other players, but when you're at minus high teens, then you feel like maybe the course just isn't worthy of these players. You don't want that either.
Now, Don and Peter, since I know I'm going to win this bet, here's what I'm going to do. No money will have to be exchanged from you to me, Peter. I was planning to give you about $250 for your wedding, so it'll go down to $150 now.
Oh, wow. That makes it not even fun. I'll be honest.
All right, then give me the money. I'll still give you the $250.
Huh? No.
Wait a minute.
No, what you just said didn't make sense.
You give me you give me the $100. I'll still give you the $250, or I could just give you $150 as a gift.
Honestly, Don, you hear what I'm saying? Even including it in the conversation with the wedding gift is classless and disgusting.
Because what
do you expect? What different from me? Why?
Why should Natalie lose out?
Why should? Well, I mean, now it's a team. It's a conglomerate. It's Peter and Natalie.
But this could be a little side cash for Peter.
Okay, well, it's going to be side cash for me then.
But fine, but we're just saying that to take it out of the fund for the wedding, which is the gift, now you're affecting his significant other, and I don't think that's fair.
I'm awful.
But, by the way,
nobody's saying awful. Why does that?
I'm admitting I'm awful. I'm an awful
I deal
person.
with, Don, I have a lot of loved ones in my life like this. If you say anything with them, anything to them to critique them in any way,
right,
they have to immediately flip it into a pity party where you have to feel guilty for even having said the words.
No. I'm not. This
I'm
isn't a
sorry.
pity party. I'm very
Sorry that you're a
comfortable
bad
with who I
guy.
am. I'm very comfortable with who I am. I'm just saying I'm a bad person. That's all. I want people to accept me for what I am.
I accept you.
All right, good. I have the Pinstripe Report here, brought to you by Corona. Randy Miller of NJ.com reporting that Harrison Bader said he wants to play 2 more games in the minors. Doesn't feel like he's ready, so he will play 2 more games, and I don't know. And he will then return Tuesday against Seattle at Yankee Stadium, so he will not be in Boston. That's why any kind of line that's set for somebody returning, it only blows up in your face. It can't. It does you no good. It does you no good to put a date out. He's going to return Friday at Fenway. Now it looks like there's a setback. Well, obviously, he's not. I mean, I'm not saying it's a setback, but he didn't heal the way they thought. And maybe it's not even the healing. It's that his swing's not ready because he's been out so long.
Hey, listen,
that's why when you go on a 10-day IL and they go, well, it'll pretty much just be the 10. No, it's never that. Never.
Well, the Patriots are home. Maybe he's just digging on Somerset.
You love Somerset.
Why not?
It's a wonderful place.
I enjoy it.
I know. I think Meredith is throwing out the first pitch there soon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's well-deserved.
Yeah, I think she'll be great. That's the Pinstripe Report brought to you by Corona. Enjoy the finer life of sports. Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball.
Now, we don't know if the Somerset Patriot game will play tonight.
Right.
Because of the inclement weather. So what does that mean? You know, if he says he needs a couple more games.
Well, he'd get Saturday and Sunday. So I guess the way he looked at it, he was going to get Friday and Saturday, sit out Sunday. He could go Friday and Saturday,
Right.
Monday's an off day.
So it wouldn't matter. Like, he's not playing in this series.
No.
So it's not like, I'll get a game in Friday, Saturday, and I'll go up to Boston Sunday and play.
According
Sounds
to
like-
Randy, he's expected to play Tuesday.
So, all right. So, there's a real nice Applebee's right by the ballpark.
Oh, you know how I feel about Applebee's.
Does he have a family?
His family lives in Bronxville, yeah.
No, but I'm saying, does he have kids?
No, he's not married.
So the Chuck E. Cheese won't do anything for him unless he himself enjoys a nice Chuck
Have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese?
Constantly with the kids.
Yeah, I've never been there because they're really not around. They're not around where I live.
It's like a condensed amusement park. They got the games and stuff, and they run like crazy.
But you know what's? My kids don't want to go there because there's terrible rumors on like TikTok and stuff, which is probably just made up from some nasty. I'm not going to say it.
No,
because Don enjoys it.
No, I thought you were talking about these the videos that the kids find. Like there's this one YouTube video, Peter, about like haunted Chuck E. Cheese's, and they go there at 3 o'clock in the morning and
Midge.
So I thought you were talking about that. You're saying that there's issues? Are you saying that there's issues?
No. I don't think there's issues, but my kids bring up like TikTok videos that hint at issues, and I said, don't believe that stuff. The people that do the TikTok, they're not reporting news. It's not Dan Rather.
Well,
they're trying to get clicks.
That's right. That's the problem with America today. A lot of people will just say anything.
I'm hammering sanitizer when I go there because it's just like a bunch of people in a condensed space. But it's fun. I find it to be enjoyable.
Love Charles Edward cheese.
What else is in that area? Nice Home Depot.
Now I could see him going to that. Let's go to Tommy in Connecticut. Tommy.
What's up, boys?
How you doing, Tom?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Good.
Just wanted to, going into Father's Day weekend, the stuff with John Morant kind of just, it really hit me in a weird way. And I just wanted, I just hope he had, I don't know. I had such amazing coaches throughout my athletic career that I think about, to this day. And I'll see him at the deli or I'll see him at their bar, the restaurant. And I just think those
father figure influences should be, I don't want to say awarded, but they should be recognized for sure. The influence. You think about how much time I spent on the baseball field, or how much time I spent in the weight room or on the football field. Those I love my father to death, but those people had as much influence on me as anybody in the world.
Well, I mean, but you're talking about John Morant. I would think that his father, who's a constant presence in his life, should be the one who straightens him out. I'm all for coaches being an influence, and we mentioned the other day a beautiful tweet that Alan Hahn sent out about his high school coach. People ask me all the time, well, who are your role models? My role models are my parents. I think it starts at home. Buck Showalter once told me, Derek Jeter, I don't know what type of player he's going to be. He'll never embarrass the Yankees. I said, why? He said, I met his parents. He said, you don't fall that far from the tree. He's going to be a great guy.
Well, I've said from the very beginning, and I will maintain this, and I don't care what I sound like. Everyone's talking about the gun stuff. And obviously there's a lot of reason to talk about the gun stuff because it's super disconcerting, and the fact that he has such poor judgment is worrisome. But, guys, like I've said, it's the videos of him hanging out with his family while drinking a half a bottle of tequila to the face that I think is sort of being overlooked in terms of the big problems facing John Morant.
I agree with you.
And nowhere in the conversation, I read that the first time around, the therapy he went to was like a way to handle his stress better. No one wants to mess around with the word alcoholism or addiction. There's something else going on here, and everyone's playing games around it. And so my big concern is I'm not worried about the kid being punished. I'm worried about him finding his way, and I just don't know if this punishment is going to help do that.
They take advantage of special offers during the summer.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
We just signed the lease on our 3rd shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to CustomInk.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our Custom Ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInk.com.
Hey. Rental? Yep.
You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied. Oh. Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblacktouch.com.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Masterclass. You've probably seen the ads. Yep, that's the logo. Online classes with some pretty amazing people, and new ones added all the time.
Oh, that's who that is.
With thousands of lessons to choose from, you can pop in for a quick recipe or binge an entire class to learn to make an entrance, make a movie, make your best friend sit. Make something happen.
Who's out here cracking up? You.
It's everything you ever wanted to do, taught by the best to ever do it. Masterclass.
Having those high interest credit cards, it felt unmanageable. My name is Belinda, and with Upstart, I was able to save money with a personal loan. From the moment that I checked my rate to getting that approval was just a few minutes. I felt relieved having the funds in my account so quickly. I was able to turn all of those, big payments into one small payment, and I was able to breathe.
Easy online borrowing. Personal loans up to $50,000. Go to Upstart.com.
There's no better feeling than a win, except a BetMGM win. Goodbye. Woo! That one hurt good. You feel that? Yeah! Now you're winning with the King Sportsbooks. Come on.
What is your healing power? Helping veterans with PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, depression, anxiety, or loneliness? Is your healing power a simple, heartfelt letter or being a volunteer? At healvets.org, you can find out more about the healing power of pen pals, volunteers, and therapy kits. Help Heal Veterans, together with you, has been helping veterans heal. What is your healing power? Find out at healvets.org.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Amos is also the fourth 2022 Packer to join the Jets, along with Rodgers, Lazard, and Cobb. That's Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Eisner Amper, a leading business advisory firm that helps clients create a winning game plan, from audit to tax to advisory to outsourcing. Want to be part of our team and do what you love? Visit EisnerAmper.com/careers. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go back to the phones, and let's go to Johnny in Mount Vernon. Johnny.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. My statement is more in the form of a question. The other day, you had mentioned, and probably Don might be able to answer this a little bit better, who would be an alternative to Lavalette as Ranger coach.
Right.
And this guy's name is never mentioned. He's supposed to be the greatest leader in any sport of all time. Nobody ever mentions Mark Messier. Well, what's the deal with him? They just don't like him?
Don, why don't you take this?
Could he coach?
Did Tariq GM before he got the Ranger job?
Yeah, he was the assistant general manager for a few years before they elevated him to general manager.
Yeah, well, he was the assistant, right? Davidson ran the show, and
right.
There was the president and everything else.
All I would ask Mark, and I love Mark. I think he's a tremendous human being. Has he done anything to accelerate his opportunity to be the coach other than just wanting to be? Brian Trottier was an assistant coach for a long time. Patrick Ewing has paid his dues as an assistant coach.
Well, then you're proving your own point, Johnny. That didn't work out well. It's the same owner.
No, well, I'm talking about with Trout here, but what I'm saying is he doesn't even get mentioned for any team.
Well,
why is there
because
something
he has
against him
because
or
he
what?
has zero experience at doing it.
Yeah,
They did try to with Wayne Gretzky. It failed. Now, baseball, you could do it because it's more analytically driven, so Aaron Boone didn't have any experience. But even Don Mattingly, Michael, who wanted to be a manager, was a bench coach for a while. Willie Randolph was a bench coach for a while before he was elevated to manager, before the analytics kicked in. Mark Messier was a great leader. He was a great captain. He was a great player. Do we know he makes a great coach? And I'm Ted, and I'm Chris Drury, and my job may be on the line, and I'm going to give it to somebody who's never done it before? I really don't understand these people who want to give Mark Messier a chance. I know you love him. I know he slayed the dragon. And I'm not trying to get in Mark's face about it, but Michael, if he wants to be a coach so bad, then why not take an assistant job someplace? Go coach a junior team. Patrick Waugh. Who's better than Patrick Waugh? Patrick Waugh went down to juniors, coached, got an opportunity up with the Avalanche, didn't work out, went back to junior again. Like, why won't he try to be an assistant or coach down in junior or coach in the AHL and gain some experience, build up a resume, and then get an opportunity? Why? Winning a cup and being a captain automatically gifts you an opportunity to be a head coach?
It's time for the leaderboard update presented by your Tri-State Acura dealers. Wyndham Clark is done for the day, and he's at 9 under. Ricky Fowler just teed off in his second round. He's 8 under. Xander Schauffele will tee off in about a minute. He's 8 under. Harris English finished the round 4 under for the day, 7 under for the tournament. And how about Rory? Rory McIlroy, through 17 today, is 7 under, and he's been sitting on a drought of majors for a while.
Well, and by the way,
McIlroy's right there.
And how do you not root for Rory McIlroy at this point? The ultimate conscious and backbone of the PGA. I don't know how you could be a fan of golf and not be pulling for Rory right now.
That leaderboard update brought to you by your Tri-State Acura dealers. Precision crafted performance. For exceptional lease and finance offers, visit Acura.com. Let's go to PJ in Syracuse. PJ.
What's up, guys? So Oak Hill was really close to Syracuse, so I was able to go a few weeks ago. And I'm not surprised at all about this, the U.S. Open, this course not letting certain people in, because when I was there, it was my first time going to a PGA event, and it is the height of snobbery. It's as if every Duke alum, every stereotypical Duke alum was gathered in one place with their just completely spoiled brat kids and shoved into one place to watch a sporting event. It was sickening.
I can't even imagine.
Don, you would have killed yourself.
You know what's the worst thing about it, too? And I say this with all due respect.
All due respect.
Because I've gone to golf events, and I love the PGA. They obviously, it's the best game in town. It's the only game in town.
Now that Liv bought it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if that's how you want to put it. It's a great time. But obviously, yes, the crowd that goes, they're still working on the diversifying of that crowd. And I don't just mean racially, though they need help there, too. I mean in all ways, like just non-rich, everyone of the same sort of coat. But, Don, the worst part is not only is everyone just sort of rich and stuck up feeling, people dress as if they're in the tournament. It's almost like going to a baseball game and everyone's wearing a complete uniform. Like, you're not playing around today. Why are you? It's like you have to wear golf attire to go watch golf. I find it very irritating.
But, Peter, I don't think you're insulting it. I mean, it is a rich person's sport. If you try to play golf, the amount of money you have to spend on clubs and stuff like that just to get on a course, even with public courses, you have to spend money to get clubs. I mean, clubs can never be an urban sport. I'm sorry.
A club... For clubs alone, you're dropping whatever, depending how you get them. Maybe you're lucky you get hand-me-downs. But then, to go out and play every time between greens.
The cost of lessons.
Greens fees, lessons, equipment. The balls go away. Everything costs money, So, no, you're right.
Well, I want to announce that I'm going to be sailing on the first ever Legends of Baseball cruise on the Celebrity Cruises Apex on December 9th. And I am looking for you to join me as we visit Key West, Cozumel, Belize, and Grand Cayman Islands. I'd love Peter and Don to join me on this. I'll be joined by current and past legends, including Oswaldo Cabrera, El Duque, Mickey Rivers, many, many more. This exclusive cruise includes 5-star accommodations, entertainment, autograph sessions, delectable dining, and more staterooms are going fast. So visit www.legendsofbaseballcruise.com, where you can also register to win this cruise for 2 or call 1-833-734-SHIP. For more information, 1-833-734-SHIP for more info. And the promo code for this is LEGENDS. Promo code LEGENDS. We'll be back.
Beautiful ladies, loving it. Beautiful family, jealous. Bride is the best day of your life. There's that smile. That's a keeper. Let's get the lucky men in here, huh? Oh. Ah, we got it. Groomsmen. Okay.
Some days are just too important for a trashy suit. Rent from thebblacktux.com.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show.
Folks, the league is in absolute chaos.
Players going off pretty much every other
Playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of
thing is,
Famers.
it might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Is on pace to break the all. Got the young guys going. Future Hall of Famers.
The Athletic. Subscribe today.
All right, here we go. It's a big responsibility to be a designer. Dagny Dover is a bag brand based in New York City, founded by 3 women. We make hyper-functional, performance-driven bags. That's like a mouthful. We're all about getting the most out of life. When you're organized and you have your things together, you feel good. And when you feel good, you can live life intentionally. Oh, it's pronounced Dagny Dover. Dagny means new dawn. It's a new dawn for fashion.
Every day, people take on their own challenging moments. A new path forward. A new beginning.
Hi. Good morning.
Their next chapter. Made possible with a little help from their Talkspace therapist. Talkspace. Get personally matched today with a therapist who can give you a little help too.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
Paying down debt can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Upstart makes it fast and easy. Borrowers can access the funds they need in as little as 1 business day. Checking your rate is fast, easy, with no cost to you or your credit score. Loans start at $1,000 and go up to $50,000. Join the club of over 1.8 million customers who have turned to Upstart for a personal loan. Your financial freedom begins at upstart.com.
Justin Rose is a major champion, a man with the skills to win and the style to look great, whether he's on the course.
Hope you have nice plans for Father's Day. Hope the weather holds up. Right now doesn't look good. Yankees are at Fenway Park tonight to start a 3-game set with the Red Sox. It's June 16th. It's their first visit to Fenway Park, and the only other visit will be in mid-September. Next time the Yankees will see the Red Sox will be in August at Yankee Stadium, and that's the new schedule. They don't play 19 times. They play 13 times, so just 2 series at home and 2 series on the road. And the key with the Yankees right now, with Aaron Judge being out, it's very, very simple. It comes down to four guys: Stanton, Donaldson, Rizzo, and LeMahieu. Now, in Tuesday's win against the Mets, they all contributed. Stanton and LeMahieu had home runs. Rizzo reached twice, scored a run. Donaldson pinch hit, game-winning sac fly. Wednesday, the Yankees lose. They're 1 for 15. If those four guys don't step up, as long as Aaron Judge is out, we don't know how long that's going to be, it'll come down to the fact that they will struggle to play 500 ball. Since June 4th, that's 9 games without Judge, okay? Rizzo, 1 for 29, 0-34. No RBIs in 8 games. Donaldson, 2 for 22, 0-91. 2 home runs, 3 ribbies in 8 games. Stanton, 3 for 26, 115. A double, a home run, 1 ribby in 8 games. LeMahieu, 5 for 27, 185. A double, a home run, 2 ribbies in 8 games. It's not that tough. Now, can they survive without Judge? Yes, but only if those guys actually pick it up. I'm not saying to play out of your mind. Flip over the back of their baseball card. Give me your average performance, and the Yankees can survive and maybe play a little over 500. But if they hit this way while Judge is out, I think they have very little chance of being 500. They're putting an inordinate amount of pressure on the pitchers, both starters and relievers. Don, Peter, those guys have to hit. If they don't hit, there's no chance. You're not going to score runs. It's too difficult to score runs. And if it's difficult to score runs, you're not going to win games.
Well, 500 should be the key to hold off the Torontos of the world that are kind of crawling up your back. If Seattle finally figures it out, gets hot. But is it enough, obviously, to catch Houston for the second wild card or get the first wild card? And I don't think it will be. I think you're hoping this to be able to keep your head above water, be the third wild card, maybe fall behind slightly Toronto, because what are we looking at here for the wild card? Yankees have the last one, and the Angels are a game back. Toronto's a game and a half back. So if you play 500 baseball, maybe the Angels and Blue Jays catch you, but you stay a couple of games behind them, and then you get Judge back, you get hot, and then you should be able to get a wild card spot. I think 500 for the next month, Michael, will probably cost you the American League East.
I think if they play 500 until the All-Star break, they will not win the American League East, unless there's just an epic collapse by Tampa Bay, and I don't see that happening. Now, I've said that Tampa Bay is not a historically great team, but they're good.
Well, they're playing 700 baseball. I mean, so even with the great start, and they kind of settled down, lost a couple of games last week to Oakland, they're still a team that's playing 38 games above 500. It's pretty incredible what they've been able to accomplish here. And have won 7 of their last 10, so they stabilize things. So they're not playing at the 800 clip. But can they maintain around 690, 700 the rest of the season? Win 100-plus games? Yeah, I think they're going to.
And, you know, if you just look at it and say, if they play 500 the rest of the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's catching them?
So they're 72 games in. So
that gives them 90 games. So they go 45 and 45.
It's 95 wins.
Yeah. Who's catching?
That's the playoffs. And is that enough to win the division? 95?
It'd be if the Orioles continue to improve, and it doesn't look like they're going to go back, they could catch them, I guess. And if the Yankees go off on a run, if they get Judge back by the All-Star break and they have them, you know, for about 80 games or whatever, or 75 games, and then they have a chance, but they've made it very difficult for themselves. And then you get the news today that Bader's not coming back for this weekend. It was all planned that he was going to be back today.
Yeah, so
but he wanted 2 more games down of rehab at Somerset, so he's not going to be back until Tuesday. So he's already missed 13 games with a right hamstring strain. So now you add 3 more on that. That's 16. Remember, he started the season on the IL, so he missed the first month plus. And you got to keep him healthy, too. Because, you know, people talk about Judge being injury prone. Well, Harrison's injury prone. I mean, remember, he came to the Yankees in a walking boot. So you got to keep him healthy. And these are muscle injuries. These are not the catastrophic injuries that Judge has suffered. These are like an oblique pull in spring training that kept him out forever. And now a hamstring pull that's going to keep him out at least 16 games. That's a lot. So, I mean, think about it. So Bader missed about 35 or 40 games at the start of the season. Now you add another 16. Not even going to play 100 games in all likelihood.
Yeah, probably not.
And they have to make a decision on him because he's a free agent at the end of the year. And I know the organization loves what he brings to the team, but do you want to get involved in another Aaron Hicks situation?
Nope.
He's got to stay on the field when he comes back. Because muscle injuries, that's something that you could say, well, that guy's injury prone. Like Judge destroying his toe on a concrete slab, to me, is not injury prone. Muscle injuries are injury prone. What Stanton does, that's injury prone. He can't keep his muscles healthy.
Now, it's also who you play in this next month. And the only soft landings you see are at the end of June, beginning of July, where you have those series against Oakland and St. Louis. But otherwise, you've got Seattle. You're going to play next at Yankee Stadium. That's
and you know what? One thing, though, John? I mean, we look at St. Louis like we look at the Mets. Can they be this bad?
No, maybe they can be. I mean, they did have a significant winning streak, didn't they? And then they just gave it all right back again.
Right.
So it's all depending on when you play them. I mean, even Oakland's won 7 in a row, so you want to just be careful when you play them. But the overall point is you got 3 with Seattle. Seattle's 5 back of you. What if you get swept by Seattle?
Right.
You bring them right back into it. You've got Baltimore at the beginning of July. July 4th, you're not going to have Judge back by then. So how much of a gap is going to grow between Baltimore and New York during that period of time? So 500 baseball is even a lot to ask, Michael, considering the schedule. I mean, the Red Sox are certainly no pushover. They came here 1-2 out of 3.
And you know what else, Don? I mean, talk about the other team in town. Take a look at the Mets schedule. That's no joyride coming up.
No.
They've got a really tough schedule. So it's not just, well, the Mets have to play better so they can beat the bad teams. No. The junior varsity portion of their schedule is over. Now they've got to beat really good teams in order to get back to what they're supposed to be.
Well, we'll see, because we've got, obviously, the Cardinals limping in for 3 this weekend. So you better do some damage there. But then it's 3 in Houston. The 3 in Philadelphia you think's tough, but the Mets have won like 17 of 21 against Philadelphia. It's crazy. Brewers aren't very good. You got them for 4, but then a weekend series against San Francisco. That's a team that you're trying to catch. Diamondback. Then you got that road trip, Diamondbacks and Padres. What if the Padres start to figure it out? Which I think they will, Michael. Maybe too little, too late for them to do any serious damage, but I don't think that team is going to play poorly the rest of the way. They're too talented. Then after the All-Star break, Dodgers, the Yankees again. Hey, but Michael, they're under 500 against lousy teams anyway. They're just not good. The Mets are just not good. Their biggest problem, Peter, they're not good. We could talk about all their avenues, but right now, 70 games into the season, they are every bit their record. Honestly, they haven't been catastrophic injuries. I get that Diaz hurts, and I get that Quintana hurts. But offensively, you just lost Alonso, but it wasn't like you were tearing it up with them. The biggest obstacle is themselves. All right, the avenues might be there, but when are they going to put it together? Because quite frankly, they seem to be below average in almost everything they do.
It's hard to argue that the record would back you up.
Yeah, you're 68 games in. That's a nice sample size of what's going on here. And God forbid, Michael, they get swept or lose 2 out of 3 this weekend. Even you would have to say that they may be dead. You're at home against the Cardinals. Don't have any hangover, Yankee post-game garbage hangover stuff. Go out there, at minimum, take 2 out of 3. Start winning some series, then we can piece some things together.
1-800-919-3776. We go to Adam, who's up in Canada. Adam.
Hi, Michael, Don, Peter. Love the show.
Thank you.
I just want to talk about the Yankees real quick. You brought up a great point yesterday on yesterday's show that doesn't get elaborated all that much. The Yankees have a philosophy about winning championships. And if you look at the history of sports in basketball, MLB, and the NHL, all these dynasties, all these teams, even the Yankees in the early 90s, those teams were built in large part through the draft and brought up together as a unit. And I feel like the Yankees last year, when they played the Cleveland Guardians, I think Garrett Cole was pitching that game. They had 2 players in their starting lineup out of 10 guys playing, that includes the DH and the pitcher, that were actual, Yankee prospects. And I think that it's difficult to see how I don't see it happening in sports where a team through free agency, builds a team and wins consecutive championships. It just doesn't happen. If you look at all the dynasties, they're built through the draft. I love your guys' take on that, and I love the show, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you. I mean, they don't have that many free agents, though. I mean, Cole's a free agent. And, I'm talking about last year's team. The other guys were acquiring trades with people from their farm system. And this year you have Carlos Rodon. You could say that Aaron Judge was a free agent, but he's a drafted Yankee. But I think you could win by sprinkling in a couple of free agents to top it off. I mean, the Yankees, made trades that topped it off of those championship teams. Tino Martinez didn't start with the Yankees. They used drafted players to trade for him. Same thing with Scott Brosius and Charlie Hayes and Wade Boggs. So I think we're romanticizing it because of the core four. Now, they were obviously the core of the team, but they sprinkled in a lot of people that were acquired from outside the organization. David Justice, Cecil Fielder, that played a big role. Joe Girardi was not a homegrown Yankee, and he played a big role in those championships. So, I mean, we remember what we want to remember, everybody, but, acquired players are an important part of any team. They just are. Let's go to Mendy in Brooklyn. Mendy.
Hello?
Hello, Mendy.
Hello?
Mendy, you brought it the other day. Bring it again.
Can you do it 2 days in a row?
So it's actually crazy because somehow all these people from high school and all these people now are texting me, is this you? Is this you? And I'm just like, who are you? You're like, all of a sudden now you text me, is this you? So you're technically made me a little bit famous.
People will always find you when you become famous. So you've now become famous. They're going to come out of the woodwork. They're going to ask you for money. You watch.
It's absolutely wild. I mean, if ESPN wants to give me a show, you guys have my number.
Okay.
Just saying. So I'm actually calm because it isn't worth getting so crazy for. So I was wondering if we could actually have a back and forth where it's like I think that the Mets right now are the 2016 Yankees. Okay, the fact that Alvarez is not in the lineup by at least DH. They had an off day yesterday, okay? This and McGill has been absolutely awful, okay? So we are going to need the run support big time, right? What are we doing, all right? We need, and I mean need, to be sellers at the deadline, right? Because
let me
this team isn't good enough.
Let me stop you there. Selling who?
Robertson, Ottavino, Pham, Canna. I'm not saying that you're going to get back a Glaber type of prospect.
The best
All
prospect
I'm saying
you'll
is,
get
right,
will be for Robertson because the Cubs got a good prospect from the Phillies in the trade for Robertson, and he helped them get to the World Series. But I hate to break it to you, Mendy, they don't have that many desirable parts. Ottavino hasn't pitched that great. And he signed a 2-year deal, so I don't know if you're going to get anything special for him. Tommy Pham is a fringe piece. You're not going to get anything special for him. The only thing that you're going to get any big pieces for, you trading Pete Alonso? No. Brandon Nimmo, you just signed to an 8-year deal, and you're not trading him. Marte, I think his value has gone down. Escobar, what's his value? So I don't know what to tell you. They don't have that many desirable pieces, Don. That you're going to be able to, people think they could trade players and build their farm system. No, they're not that good. They don't have players that are on expiring contracts that other teams are going to want. David Robertson is one of them. But if you do trade him, Don, you're giving up.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think he's going to want to give up. See, you're now in the same situation like what the Rangers are in the NHL or even the Knicks in the NBA where you've got two directions to go to, blow it up or move forward, and nobody's got an appetite to take a step back. Even in a lost season, Michael, I don't think they're going to – Steve Cohen, with the money and what he feels this team can be, he's going to retool it, he's going to rejigger, and he's going to try to go for it again. Because what are you moving that's going to get you anything?
Right.
What are you going to not – the only thing I could say that you just let Pete Alonso walk. Why would you do that?
No.
How does that benefit your team?
He's your best player. Nobody's going to want to trade for Lindor at that money.
Nobody wants Lindor in that contract. Nobody wants Escobar. Nobody wants Marte. Nobody can afford $43 million a year for Verlander or Scherzer. Nobody's going to want Senga. Otherwise, they would have signed him when he was available coming through Japan. Unless you want to trade some of these young players. But where would you? What would you get, and where would you put them?
Right, and then you're trading the things that you're trying to get. You're trying to get young players. Whether you trade Brett Beatty, you don't want to trade Alvarez. He's the future of the team. You don't want to go down and trade Mauricio. So who are you trading? I mean, I've heard that a lot. They should be sellers. Sellers of what? Talk about a flea market. They should be buyers.
Yeah, they're being forced into buying. Or what they'll end up doing, Michael, is nothing. Because are you going to trade those young pieces away? And you don't. And if you're a Met fan, root for nothing to happen. Because if we're right and Epler's not good, do I really want him trading any of these young players away for another Darren Ruff, for another Vogelback? Some stopgap guy that's going to try to get us over the hump and then don't, and then those young players are now gone forever? They're probably not going to do anything. Maybe they'll make some slight move, a maintenance move to try to improve the bullpen, because I don't think you have to give up major prospects to do that. Mm-hmm. But really, what is there to do?
Rich in Queens, you're next.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. You?
Good. Wanted to talk about the Rangers coach. Messier, definitely not the guy. No experience, as you guys alluded to. Diehard Ranger fan, grew up father having season tickets, watch every game. And I didn't like the hire initially either. Then I thought about it, and I think it's just a hatred in hockey that you just hate the division so much. This guy has coached the Flyers. He's coached the Islanders. He's coached the Caps. And my friends that are all into it didn't like it. Went back and thought about it. There's not much better out there, and I think it's the right hire at this point in time. Don will know this better than anybody. There's just a different thing when it comes to hockey, and just seeing that face and him being so familiar over the last years, I think that's the only reason there's a bit of, different thoughts around this hire right now. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Well, I think you're right. Skew it positive. All right, you're going to look at them. I hate the Capitals. I hate the Flyers. I hate the Hurricanes. I hate the Islanders. But that's an intimate knowledge of basically the entire division. He's been successful pretty much every place that he's been. He'll bring a structure, a little bit more of a defensive-minded ability, a little forecheck, a little bit more aggressiveness, a little bit more physicality. He'll hold his players accountable. The thing I think bothered a lot of people about Gallant, Michael, is that he kind of, they talk to the players, they'll tell you, this guy is going to know what's going on. Not to the point where he'll irritate them, until eventually he will. That's just the way it works. But he'll get in there. He'll be fiery. There's a great video. You could probably find it on YouTube. It's all over Twitter from when they did the it's not Hard Knocks, but whatever they called it for the Winter Classic when the Rangers play the Flyers. And he just went into the room and just destroyed the Flyers in the room. Like, sometimes you need that. I think players want that sometimes. I mean, it gets old, it gets ridiculous. Sometimes it has a shelf life. But the whole being a player's coach and letting the players decide what they want to do and go talk to the players how they feel about, I think you need somebody that has a pulse of the room and somebody that, when the shenanigans are going on, can go in there between periods and tear into a few players. Not to the point where they don't want to play for you, but to the point of just holding them accountable. And I think Peter Laviolette will do that.
Aaron Boone just said that Aaron Judge got another PRP injection in his toe. That was yesterday. He was still experiencing some lingering soreness in one of the two ligaments, so this shot pinpointed the second ligament. Yankees hope that this can help speed up the process towards starting baseball activities. That was tweeted out by Greg Joyce, covers the Yankees for the Post. So PRP, for those that don't know, they take your blood and they spin it, and then they inject it, this blood that's been spun around, and kind of, for lack of a better phrase, energized. Then they put it into that specific area, and it's supposed to help healing. We'll see if it works. So that's the second PRP. Let's go to Zachary in Manhattan. Zachary.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. You?
Doing well. Michael, I've been listening to you since I was a little kid. I actually got a chance to see the Yankees win their last World Series in 2009. but I'm not calling to talk about the Yankees today. I'm calling to talk about the Rangers, and I have to disagree with what's been said. Honestly, when assessing this head coaching situation, we have to recognize the fact that Chris Drury unequivocally did not have a plan when he fired Gerard Gallant. If he had a plan, they would have been able to hire a new coach much sooner. And it was far too reactive and emotional of a response. Look at Boston. Jim Montgomery, they set the regular season record for having the most wins ever. Look at Colorado. They won the Stanley Cup last year. They had Stanley Cup aspirations. They didn't fire Jared Bednar. What about Carolina? They want to win the Stanley Cup. They didn't fire Rod Brind'Amour. And yet Chris Drury had sort of the hubris to fire Gallant. These losses were not on Gallant at all. And if you think Laviolette is going to teach Artemi Panarin how to back check, I just think you're sorely mistaken. Because you can go back and read the articles back from 2016 about Panarin playing with Chicago. He didn't back check then either. And a lot of people have been disgracefully throwing around Joel Quenneville's name. I mean, they shouldn't. Quenneville should have never been in the discussion in the first place, but even back then, Panarin didn't know how to back check in the playoffs. If you're resting your hopes on Panarin, taking the Rangers to a Stanley Cup, I don't think that's where it's at. When it comes to sort of assessing a head coach, having a head coach with experience to win a Stanley Cup playoff, when it comes to winning with other teams, it's not a necessary condition. You don't have to have a head coach who has won a Stanley Cup before.
But one thing, though, Zachary, one thing. Chris Drury's job is hanging in the balance. He can't take a chance, so it's better to get the thing that you know, which is Laviolette, who has won a Stanley Cup. But the one thing I'd agree with Zachary, Don, I'm sorry, when you hire a coach like Gerard Gallant and you keep him for 2 years, you made a mistake then. You didn't see the things that would eventually become problems. And you have said that they had problems during the season that he was calling people. It's been reported by Larry Brooks. He's calling people in January about replacing him. You had a bad hire then.
Right,
it's a bad hire.
But so he acknowledged it.
No, I get it.
And then
that's
trying to do something about it.
But the first big hire that he had as a Ranger coach, he messed up.
Right, and he tried to correct it. Now, I agree this is probably a roster problem more than it's a coaching problem, but it's a lot easier to find a coach than it is to just reconfigure the roster, especially in a cap era. Now, I don't think he'll get another hire. I think it's let's try to work through this, try to find the right coach, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then he's going to be out of a job, and they're going to have to blow the thing up. But it's trying to figure out a way to make it work with what you currently have. And he could talk about, what Montgomery did. Well, Bruce Cassidy was the coach in Boston. He got fired. Montgomery took over. Montgomery got them the best record in the history of hockey in the regular season. They got bounced in the first round. Do you know who he replaced, Michael?
No.
Bruce Cassidy. Guess where he became the coach? The Vegas Golden Knights.
And he won the Stanley.
And they won the Stanley Cup. So you can make changes, and sometimes the coach can. And Cassidy did a great job in Boston. They were a good team, just not good enough. But he was a better fit in Vegas than I guess he was in Boston. Montgomery was a better fit, I guess, in Boston than he was in Dallas. Pete DeBoer was in Vegas. They let him go, and then he went to Dallas and did a good job. They got him to the conference final. So it's always a mishmash. Look at Paul Maurice. Couldn't get the job done. Resigns in Winnipeg. He goes to Florida, and he ends up going to the Stanley Cup final. So that's what they're hoping to do, to find the right combination. And if it doesn't work, everybody's going to be out of a job.
This portion of the Michael Kay Show on 98.7 ESPN brought to you by Acura Precision Crafted Performance. For exceptional lease and finance offers, visit Acura.com. Don, if you're in pain, what do you got?
Well,
this BMW XM is a beast. So much power. V8 and electric. The way it takes all corners. I'm literally speechless. So luxurious, but so much power.
Seems like you're talking okay.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
He's like the opposite of speechless.
No words. The way it accelerates, so quick.
You're kind of saying a lot of words.
There's just nothing to say. He's speechful. I'm at a loss for words.
Electrified plug-in hybrid meets extreme performance meets limitless luxury. Only in the BMW XM.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Citizens. Paid the easy way. One ding and you're done. Visit citizensbank.com/ding to learn more.
1, 2, ding 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 ding.
Layla is our messenger pigeon.
This is crazy.
You know what else is crazy? That SMS text you're about to send, it's wide open.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief so you can live your greatness.
Hey, big man. Go ahead. Dave told me you got some kind of great system for betting that really works.
It's true.
What is it? Is it like home dogs? No. It's bird mascots.
No, I just use FanDuel's responsible gaming tools like time and spending limits to manage my play.
That's the system.
Hasn't failed me yet.
Cool. You know what, man? I'm just going to keep this between you and me.
It's not a secret, Bob.
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours. It's more fun that way.
We about to turn it up. Oh, yes! Claxton, let's go! Case closed. About to go around the pole.
Swing and a miss. Bases loaded.
See ya! We gonna turn it up. Big win!
Providing healthcare to people who need it most. That's the simple but powerful purpose behind Doctors Without Borders. We treat wounded people in war zones, care for malnourished children, and provide safe reproductive health care. We're on the ground in emergencies, from Ukraine to Afghanistan. We put patients first, and we go where we're needed most. Because at Doctors Without Borders, we believe people deserve to be treated with compassion and dignity. We treat our patients completely free of charge and without regard to race, religion, or politics. Doctors Without Borders has provided free, life-saving medical care for over 50 years. And thanks to the 6 million people around the world who support our work, Doctors Without Borders will continue to put our patients first.
This is how legends
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or current Chevy owners get a $7,250 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your local Chevy dealer.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
Does your internet bill make you anxious? Not me. I'm on T-Mobile Home Internet. They have price lock guarantee. That means they'll never raise your internet rate. I sleep like a baby and just look at my hair. Get 5G home internet for just $50 a month. And just look at that shine.
When there's no defense, attacking gets much easier. Don't let that happen to your teeth. New Pronamel Active Shield provides 2 times stronger enamel defense and 24-hour cavity protection, because strong enamel is the best defense against cavities. New Pronamel Active Shield. Here's the defense.
Rev up your game day with Audi Yankees batting practice today. Go inside the cage for a pregame power show and get the keys to victory from our baseball insiders. Before select games on Yes, watch Yankees batting practice today, driven by Audi.
We about to turn it up. Case closed.
Swing and a miss. Bases loaded. Big win.
Stream Yankees baseball on the Yes app, presented by T-Mobile.
Let's let Sam know about something even more urgent than his morning coffee.
Hey Sam, did you know it's kitten season? Right now, thousands of kittens are in shelters across the nation, and they're in need of love and care. When there are too many kittens in shelters, they aren't able to receive the individual attention they so desperately need. That's where you come in. By fostering a kitten, you can provide the care they need until they're ready to be adopted. If you foster a kitten, even for a week, you'll be giving them a chance to grow up and find families of their very own. What's in it for you? A kitten will fill your home with joy. your movie night with lots of cuddles, and they'll even help your social posts look way cuter too. And if you foster a kitten, you'll be provided with everything you need to care for your furry friend. You just provide the love. Save some tiny lives. Adopt or foster a kitten today. To learn more about how you can make a life-saving difference, visit bestfriends.org/kittens.
Carlos Rodon is going to start a rehab assignment Tuesday at Somerset, and Aaron Boone believes that he needs 3 starts and then he could return to the Yankees. So we could be looking at 15 days, and he'll be back. Ian Hamilton, whose birthday is today, he begins a rehab on Sunday. Now, according to Boone, Bader could actually be in the Yankees lineup by Tuesday, but Sunday is still in play. But again, if he says he needs 2 games, and tonight's game could be in jeopardy because of the rain, well, then it wouldn't be Sunday, it would be Tuesday. Also, there's bad weather in the forecast here in Boston.
No.
And could be a day-night doubleheader on Sunday. That would just be so much fun for me. It really would. Father's Day plans would be down the toilet.
Well, that's true. I was going to say you wouldn't have to worry about the Sunday game, but you'd still have to be there for the afternoon.
Yeah.
Call Rucco. He'd do it.
There you go.
Well, it's Father's Day.
Rucco's a dad, too.
True.
Yeah, but his kid's not understanding what's going on.
That is a good point. Your kid will understand better.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We shall see. It's also bad weather on Sunday, too. I don't know why they planned a day-night doubleheader if it's bad weather on Sunday. If I'm the Yankees, I say, let's put it off until September when we come back. They might have Aaron Judge back then. Enter the ESPN New York No-Hitter Sweepstakes for your chance to win $25,000. Find the no-hitter tile on the ESPN New York app. Pick a team and submit your entry. Today's qualifier is Carmine Daddario from Port Jefferson Station, New York, who has chosen New York's National League team to throw a no-hitter today.
Has that happened in a while? Maybe when the Yankees were off.
Presented by MoheganSunCasino.com. For full contest rules, go to ESPNNewYork.com. 1-800-919-3776. Christina in Westchester. Christina, talk to us.
Hello.
Hello.
Michael, I'm going to be joining you on the cruise.
Very nice.
Nice. All right.
Should be good. It's supposed to be great.
I think I'm going to win the trivia contest.
Oh, I thought you booked it already.
I booked it. I'm going to win the trivia contest on the cruise.
Oh, I got you.
Oh.
Nice.
I took Don and Peter out of their misery during the trivia contest.
I don't think I don't think Don and Peter are going to be on the cruise, Christina.
No, I know. I beat them when they had the Yankee trivia when you were having your surgery.
Oh.
I took you out of your pen with who is old reliable.
Well, Tommy Henrik.
No kidding.
What do you think you're talking to, Michael?
Yeah, seriously, Michael, pull it together, bro.
Wow.
Exactly. My grandfather worked for the company that built Yankee Stadium.
Which one?
White Construction.
No. Which stadium? 23, 76?
Oh, Yankee Stadium, the original one.
Oh,
Come on, Michael, again, you sound like a fool.
Yeah, what's the matter?
Well, I mean, there have been 3 different iterations of Yankee Stadium, so, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
I'm hurt.
Christina sounds like she's going to be a joy on the
she has an interesting approach.
Yeah, she really does. So I'm glad she listened to the read and decided, I want to be on that. It's going to be fun.
She sounds like someone, Michael, that she will join you at your table.
Maybe. That should be fun. Let's go to Alex in Memphis. Alex.
Hey, how's it going, Mike, Don, Peter? Long-time caller, first-time listener. I've been a Yankee fan since 1900,
Okay.
I was kind of calling because, I live in Memphis now, but I'm a Knicks fan at heart, but I kind of root for the Grizzlies, too. I was just wondering why you guys think some organizations around the country, maybe like the NRA, haven't advocated more for Ja Morant, considering he wasn't doing anything illegal, and especially because, I don't know if y'all know this, but Karl Malone is on the board of the NRA. So I was just wondering what y'all thought.
Well, I mean, first of all, why would the NRA get involved? They don't even know if it's a registered gun.
True. But are they going to support him and then we find out it's a toy gun?
What if they find out that he had an illegal gun?
Well, or maybe that's the reason they're not doing it, because maybe they just went and found out.
Right. Let's go to Alan in Brooklyn. Alan.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'd like to take up your challenge, Michael, of people criticizing you and not having the courage to call in.
Okay.
If you let me go, I'd like to make 3 quick points, and then you could hit me with your cannons.
Okay.
First of all, I'm 71 years old. I read over 150 books on baseball, so I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to baseball. And I know no one is going to do what the Yankees did from 49 to 53 and win 5 World Series in a row, or what they did between 96 and 2000 and have 4 World Series wins in 5 years.
3 points. Let's go. Go.
Okay.
I know everything.
This is what I'm saying. You're scared to let somebody talk.
No, but
Alan,
wait,
I
Alan,
said I'll be quick.
wait a
Let me
minute.
talk.
Wait a minute. I will let you talk. Wait a minute. I will let you talk, but I just want to lay down the ground rules. You don't get to co-host the show. I know the history of the Yankees. Give me your 3 points why Brian Cashman is the worst. Go. Go.
Typical.
Alan, you're an ass.
Alan, go. Alan, go.
I'm going. So I know that it's going to be impossible to do these things. But when you talk about how people react, don't talk about multiple championships like Cashman does. Be honest with fans. I understand that. And the other 2 things I want to say is I think it's very condescending of you 3 to talk about if fans root for 2 New York teams, the Mets and the Yankees, and not true fans, they're frauds. And the other thing with the jerseys is another thing that really bothers me. Not everybody like you guys can afford to go to Yankee stores and pay $125 for jerseys. And if they want to put a player's name on it, who are you 3 guys to judge them?
I'm on your side. I'm on your side on that one.
You are so cool that you could judge them. Believe you me.
Well, you just said you were going to debate me about Brian Cashman. You didn't defend. What's the point?
To get those. You say that nobody calls you, so this is the first time I've ever called you. I wanted to get those 3 points.
You're making stuff up. Debate me about Brian Cashman. That's what you said you wanted to do. That was a challenge. All right, you don't like the fact that
I had 3 points. Listen
but
to
you
what
said about Cashman.
Okay.
That's why I laid down the challenge. If you don't like Cashman, let's talk about it. Let's not do it on Twitter.
I didn't say I didn't like him. Okay.
So then, what are you talking about?
I didn't say I didn't like him. I said I understand it. But don't put fans down for something that he said, okay? And again, you won't answer the thing about how you 3 are so condescending about everything.
I'll answer it. If you just shut up, I'll answer it.
Okay. Don't be nasty to me.
You're nasty to me.
Alan, you've been nasty.
You're the one who took it to nasty. Alan, shut up. Shut up.
No,
I can shut you up. All right, here's what I'll do. I'll shut you up now, clown.
Oh, my God, Michael.
I think that people that root for the Yankees and the Mets want it both ways. They can't have it both ways. You can't root for both teams. That's what we feel. If you don't want to be that way, that's fine. As for the uniforms, we're not talking about that we're richer than anybody else. I have looked it up. The uniforms with the names on the back and the ones without the names on the back cost the exact same thing. And if you're a real Yankee fan, why would you wear a uniform with the name on the back? The team does it. Why would you? What a jerk.
Okay.
I mean, was I wrong there? I was giving him. I challenged people to call in debate about Brian Cashman. He didn't make any sense.
What he told me was none of that, by the way. That when Brian Cashman said championships, that's what Yankee fans now expect.
How many times have we been criticizing him for saying that? Don makes a cottage industry of bringing that up.
So real quick. He had 3 things that he didn't like about the show. I don't know why he didn't just tell Anthony that's what he wanted to say. But what was the first one? I know he landed on the jerseys.
Like the fact that we look down our nose at people that root for both teams. We will continue to do so. Next.
both teams, he didn't like the jersey thing.
Right, because who are we? We're too cool that we have so much money. They both cost the exact same amount of money. Next.
And what was the first one, Anthony? I can't remember the first one.
Fans complain because of the fact that Brian Cashman said multiple championships, not championship. And he's right about that. We agree.
Yeah, but I take no issue with that. I don't understand. He came in so nasty.
And then he said to me, I got nasty. I got nasty. When people get nasty with me, I get nasty with them.
I was surprised you let him go past the beginning when you were trying to get a word in, and he just went scared, scared, scared. I was shocked you let him go after that.
Absolute clown.
He sounded on the older side.
I want people to be clowns.
Wait, what was that, Don?
He sounded on the older side, so I laid out.
I understand.
Now, Michael, if you found out that man was 89.
No, he said he was 71, and I felt bad about it, but he was being rude to me. So if a 71-year-old spits in my face, am I supposed to take it because he's 71?
I'm also told that he started the call by saying long-time caller, first-time listener, which is rough.
Do you know the first time I was ever a guest on Mike and the Mad Dog, when I was a writer, I actually said long-time listener, first-time guest. Oh. And then they debated me. Oh, you've been on before. No, I haven't.
They thought, you'd probably remember if you'd done an appearance on the show before. Right. How often did you go on that show?
I think that once.
Oh, that was it. Didn't go well.
It went great. Then I became a radio broadcaster.
That'll do it.
And I got the talk show.
And they didn't like that
after.
Right. Hey, everybody, it's Michael K. I love to get to talk about my friend.
It's easy to get lost.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring.
Managing my credit card debt was overwhelming. I felt like I was in a race that I couldn't win. I felt backed into a corner, and it just wasn't a good place to be. My name is Carter, and Upstart helped me get rid of that credit card debt with a personal loan. Checking my rate with Upstart was super quick, super easy. It took me a few minutes to get my pre-approval and to get my interest rate. I got my money the next day. I was like...
Easy online borrowing. Personal loans up to $50,000. Go to Upstart.com.
Bonobos presents A Course in Style with Justin Rose. Justin Rose, champion golfer with a champion swing. How does he do it? Well, let's take a closer look. Is it his flawless form, elite balance, consistent accuracy? Yes, and also those pants. Give me a little more of those pants, will you? Style, comfort, a great fit. These babies can do it all.
Wherever your tour takes you.
Every day, people take on their own challenging moments. A new path forward. A new beginning.
Hi. Good morning.
Their next chapter. Made possible with a little help from their Talkspace therapist. Talkspace. Get personally matched today with a therapist who can give you a little help too.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. I guess we're a chain now, right?
We worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to CustomInk.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our Custom Ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInk.com.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to theblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
Look at you, hostess with the mostest.
How does she do it?
But no one knows that earlier today...
It's not finished?
Oh my.
Oh, come on.
But you kept your cool.
I just planted those?
Sort of. And ordered everything you needed from Lowe's on Instacart. Yeah, look at you. Visit Instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Make your summer special during the Kia Summer Sales Event with a dependable SUV or a powerful sedan. Lease a new 2023 EV6 Win for $499 a month.
Within 15 seconds of logging onto social media, the algorithm has your daughter in its crosshairs. It sends her a steady flow of images telling her she isn't thin enough, pretty enough. They invade her brain, causing body dysmorphia, anxiety, depression, leading to the worst rates of eating disorders, self-harm, and suicide we have ever known. All while she's sitting right next to you on her phone. Congress knows, but it refuses to act. Don't let her suffer the secret pain alone. Use your voice. Demand a plan. Join us at the Center for Countering Digital Hate, protectingkidsonline.org, because it's up to you to protect your children from social media nightmares. Join us for her, for your daughter.
The key with the Yankees right now with Aaron Judge being out, it comes down to 4 guys: Stanton, Donaldson, Rizzo, and LeMahieu. Now, in Tuesday's win against the Mets, they all contributed. Wednesday, the Yankees lose. They're 1 for 15. If those 4 guys don't step up, as long as Aaron Judge is out, it'll come down to the fact that they will struggle to play 500 ball. Now, can they survive without Judge? Yes, but only if those guys actually pick it up. I'm not saying to play out of your mind. Flip over the back of their baseball card. Give me your average performance, and the Yankees can survive and maybe play a little over 500. But if they hit this way while Judge is out, I think they have very little chance of being 500. They're putting an inordinate amount of pressure on the pitchers, both starters and relievers. Those guys have to hit. If they don't hit, there's no chance. You're not going to score runs. It's too difficult to score runs. And if it's difficult to score runs, you're not going to win games. Oh, point God. I earned it.
Wow. Yeah, can you hear that? What an unbelievable job by you.
Yeah. I think Alan even agrees.
I mean, you said, no, Alan doesn't agree.
I just couldn't turn Alan around fast enough.
Yeah, I know you. I mean, essentially what you said is the Yankees need to score more runs to win the game. How does that not win, point God?
Well,
That's
see, now you're being simplistic, and Alan would say, you're afraid.
He stinks.
Was that Alan also? That's Alan?
No.
Okay. There's another guy who's angry. I would like to say, if Alan could control himself and call back, I'd like to say, what are you mad about? It's kind of a good life, What are you mad about?
Well, he doesn't like you or us.
Okay, but you obviously listen to the show because you know everything we talk about. So do you hate listen? Which we welcome. But what are you so angry about?
Can I lift it all the way up, by the way?
Oh.
Lift it up and show it to me. I really want to. Don, I'm really tempted to. I have to.
Go ahead.
We literally had a conversation today in our pre-show call we had a conversation. Our Ron Pinhead, our boss,
RP,
said to us, based, I think, a little bit on yesterday's call with an elderly gentleman, he basically asked the question, are we worried that maybe we're a little too hard on callers sometimes? And all three of us, we agree that maybe there's some room, but by and large, it's warranted, and we think it's fun to have exchanges with people, and it's kind of part of the rules of engagement. You want to call up and mix it up. Things happen. We're out here to entertain the larger audience more than we are to have a friendly chat with every single person who calls. That's how I see it, at least. And I think the three of us were mostly on the same page. But the fact that on the same day of that conversation, Michael ended up repeatedly screaming, "Shut up," at an elderly man is really magnifique.
Well, he's not. I mean, he's only 9 years older than me. Don yelled at an 80-year-old.
Yeah, that's
please.
Happen again.
Yeah, Don's now laying out.
I laid out because I could have absolutely eviscerated Alan to the point where he would have cried on the air, but that's not me anymore. I won't be doing that anymore.
But do you think whatever
I'm
you would
thanks for the call guy now.
Now,
Don doesn't take constructive criticism very well.
Especially when I don't think it's very constructive.
Yeah, Don wholeheartedly disagree, but I was mostly in lockstep with Don on that. In this case, though, Don, could any evisceration you would have done been worse than Michael simply screaming, "Shut up, shut up"? I did once say also,
not shut up.
I know, and I also have to admit, you guys probably didn't hear it because it got mixed into.
A friend of mine texted me, said it should be a drop.
I just said to him, "Alan, you're an ass," in the middle of the whole thing.
Alan, shut up. Peter has some good news for you.
Please tell me that ENN is a T-Wee vehicle.
No, that's not the truth. It's only Railroad. But
that's great. You should tune in.
It's presented by Tri-State Acura dealer.
Where's that good news?
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because Peter's bet might be happening. Ricky Fowler is 3 under today. He's on the third hole. He's at -11, Peter.
My
and
boy,
leading the U.S.
Fouls.
Open.
That's right.
Wyndham Clark, he's finished for the day. 3 under for the day, 9 over for the tournament. Rory McIlroy finished for the day. 3 under for the day, 8 under for the tournament. Xander Schauffele, third hole, even today, still at -8. Harris English is finished for the day. He shot a 4 under, and he's 7 under for the tournament. That's the scoreboard update brought to you by your Tri-State Acura dealers. Precision-crafted performance for exceptional lease and finance offers. Visit Acura.com. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Tim in Long Island. Tim.
Yeah, Don, I got to completely disagree with you about this Laviolette hire. You already said it yourself. He's coached every team in the division. It's been almost 20 years since he won the Cup in 2006 with Carolina. This changes nothing, in my opinion. We might as well have kept going on. How about Patrick Waugh? He just won the Memorial Cup. He's got some fire. I mean, this core needs somebody to light a fire under their asses.
Well, Laviolette can do that. B, he went to a final in 10. He went to a Stanley Cup final in 16.
13 years ago.
Well, what about 16 with Nashville? I mean, you take 3 different teams to a Stanley Cup final.
He's lost.
And Patrick Waugh has done nothing in the NHL. He is a hothead. He would hate dealing with the media.
They haven't won in my lifetime. He hasn't won since 2006. I want to win. I don't want to get to the final and lose.
All right, so who's going to help you? What does Patrick Waugh want?
At least be something new. At least we're trying something different. Laviolette is one of the. There's like a few coaches in the NHL
you got to put yourself in Chris Drury's shoes.
It's Boudreau, DeBoer, Sutter, Ruff. Laviolette's one of them.
Bonobos presents A Course in Style with Justin Rose. Justin Rose, champion golfer with a champion swing. How does he do it? Well, let's take a closer look. Is it his flawless form, elite balance, consistent accuracy? Yes, and also those pants. Give me a little more of those pants, will you? Style, comfort, a great fit. These babies can do it all.
Wherever your tour takes you.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Welcome to the Athletic Basketball Show. Folks, the league is in absolute chaos. Players going off pretty much every other playing picture that, when it clears, could leave a few future Hall of Famers. It might all come down to some rookie taking free throws. Is on pace to break the
The Athletic. Subscribe today.
Everything you love from ShopRite is now in your phone on Instacart. Get free delivery on your first order.
Lucid dreams almost every night. I keep thinking I have some kind of double life. Years ago, I came up with the design for a beautiful flowy dress with a pattern made from real flowers. During hard times, I go into survival mode and I have bright dreams every night. Every night, I close my eyes and I find myself inside my brain. I travel through memories and time. I just want to keep dreaming forever.
I chose Upstart because I was on financial aid for school. It did run out. Once I found Upstart, I was kind of relieved. They're interested in my background. They were looking at more than just my credit score. I was able to get my money fast. I was able to consolidate all of those credit cards into one payment and raise my credit score so that I was able to make that move right after college.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring.
So you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier.
I love this thing.
It's nice to breathe. Novage, clean nose, healthy life.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
The Yankees had to wait over 2 months to face the team that counts the legendary Ted Williams as one of their icons. But the rematch comes a lot quicker. After they played a series in the Bronx last weekend, the Yankees and Red Sox are now getting ready for action at Fenway Park. Hello, everybody, and and welcome to this Friday night edition of Yankees Batting Practice Today, presented by Audi. I'm Nancy Newman. We are here to set the table for Yankees versus Red Sox and a weekend at Fenway. We've got much to get to over the next half hour. We begin with the pitching matchups these rivals will send out. Two of them will be rematches from their last series. Domingo Germán against Tanner Houck tonight, and tomorrow's game on Fox featuring Clark Schmidt and Brian Bayo. Sunday's finale on ESPN will have Luis Severino working opposite former Yankee James Paxton, who is healthy again after missing nearly all of the past 2 seasons due to injury. To help set the scene for this go-round, let's rewind to some sights and sounds from last weekend at the stadium.
Yankees and the Red Sox always mean something. There's a rivalry here. There always has been. And who better to start off the series than the Yankee ace, Garrett Cole?
On the year, he's unbeaten. Strikeout one away.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Duvall down on strikes. Turner down looking. And that'll bring up Devers. Bowers on the run, can't make the play, so a double for Devers. Casas line into right field. It's a base hit, and it's 1-0 Boston. Skied into left center field. A home run for Devers. It's 2-0 Boston.
Pretty good pitch, well executed, but better swing.
Driven out to center field. See ya! Into Monument Park. Donaldson. Yankees on the board. It's 2-1 Red Sox. Here's Hernandez. That ball is long gone. 3-1 Red Sox. Runner goes. Throw to second, not in time. Goes into center field. IKF pops up. He'll go to third. And out gets by. Here comes IKF. He will score. Red Sox lead 3-2. All eyes on the Yankee rookie shortstop. Drill deep to left field. That ball is a foul ball. Hernandez makes the play, and the Red Sox win 3-2.
And we're back here in the Bronx.
The Yankees, just not another game. They have to win. Now to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Yankees do not have a man on base. 9 up, 9 down. Here's Gleyber Torres. Drilled to deep right field. It is high. It is far. It is gone. It's Gleyber Day. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. Rafael Devers hits one into Monument Park to tie the game at 1. Wow, does he wear out the Yankees. Pitches line to right field, and that ball is gone. Willie Calhoun hits one to the moon, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead.
Right now, I'm feeling pretty good and just trying to keep that rolling.
Well, here is Higgy with a runner of second and 2 out, and the pitch is grounded up the middle, and diving, knock off the glove, coming home, the throw home as not in time, and the Yankees take a 3-1 lead. Well, the Yankees bring in their closer, Clay Holmes. A ground ball to third. Donaldson squares, throws to first in time. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. Pitch is drilled to right field and deep. She's gone. Justin Turner to right center field for the home run. Boston takes a 1-0 lead. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and ripped to right field down the line. Verdugo on the run, can't get it, and it bounces past him, going to the wall, and they're going to hold Donaldson at third.
And another terrific piece of hitting by Billy McKinney. You get your chance. You got to be prepared. You got to be ready.
So there's second and third and 2 out. A ground ball up the middle, and it hits the bag. What a break. A 2-run base hit for Trevino.
It's about time the Yankees had some good luck.
So there's the tying run, Hernandez, with a leadoff hit. And the ball gets away coming in the infield, and on to second goes Hernandez. Pitch is hit on the ground to second, the run scores. That was too easy. That actually was too easy. Line base hit left field. So Boston takes a 3-2 lead. As the right-hander Martin deals, struck him out swinging. Ball game over. Boston wins. And the final, Boston 3 and the Yankees 2.
By By taking 2 out of 3 in the Bronx, Boston put an end to a streak of 3 consecutive losing series. The Yankees did improve to 27-7 in games when they hit multiple home runs with their Game 2 victory, but they were still limited to just 7 runs overall during that 3-game set. Those games and their Subway Series matchups in Queens on Tuesday and Wednesday extended a streak of 10 straight Yankees games decided by 3 runs or fewer. Their second game against the Mets was also their 10th extra inning game of the year, matching the Tigers for the most extended games played in the majors. Well, there had been some hope that Harrison Bader could have been part of the lineup for tonight's game. But after he played a rehab game on Wednesday as he works his way back from a hamstring strain, he's not yet been activated. Earlier today, Aaron Boone explained the situation, providing our quote of the day presented by Toyota.
The other day went fine. I think just in Harrison's mind, and we agree wholeheartedly, like to get another game or two in and having that feeling, especially for a guy like him who relies on his legs so much, to be able to go make that diving play in the gap at full speed or score from second with the game on the line with a base at the left. I just think he, especially with a hamstring injury, having that